What's going on, everybody? Off the top, we are in the building. Impromptu session here. What's going on, fellas?
All good,
What's going
man?
on, guys?
All right, let's get everybody
Disappearing, we're coming back.
disappearing, coming back. We getting it together.
Coming in off the top. Bam.
Boom! First off, let's get ourselves introduced. We got Spider Kero in the building.
That is right. It is your friendly neighborhood
Oh my God.
Spider Kero, and all sorts of things are happening. But that's what you expect from the WGC podcast. That's what we do right here. You can find me on YouTube as Kero the Goat. You can find me on Instagram as Kero, and I'll pass it over to the next one.
The next one, who is the dubious one, Mr.Dubbs is in the building.
We're live, pal. Mr.Dubbs
Live,
here
pal.
in 3, 4, 5 dimensions. You can catch me in all my socials down below. Mr._Dubbs on YouTube, Mr.Dubbs86 on X. Come check me out. Come check out my latest video from a portion of our interview with the lead developer from Sam Vallely, the lead developer of
Great
Ultra
interview.
Pro Wrestling.
Great
From
interview.
the
before you
interview
move
Clint and I
forward.
did. Yeah, thank you very much. It was a wonderful interview. We really like to thank Sam for his time. He spent about an hour with us answering as many questions as we could get through in that time, and can't wait to talk to him again. But I've got a little clip up from that video on one of the pressing questions I had for him. So go check that out, and go check out Stryzer Tube Wrestling for the entire interview. Shout out to our boy Clint,
right.
who's not here tonight.
For sure. Make sure you go check out the full interview. Stryzer Tube Wrestling. Check out the Clint from Mr.Dubbs channel. Shout out to Gabe Batterly in the chat. We got Daron. Hopefully I said your name right. Kincaid. Thank y'all for showing up, y'all. Again, this is impromptu. We just scheduled it and went live. But next up, we got my boy Loaded is a beast in the building.
What is going on, guys? Bro, I've been covering fighting games because wrestling games are not it. They've been fumbling. So I've been covering Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero.
Love it.
What WWE 2K24? I did talk about that earlier, so you could check that out. There's a YouTube short on that. Tekken 8. What else is there to look forward to? Yeah, that's it. Check out my Tekken 8 video, my Dragon Ball videos, the video I did earlier. Follow me on YouTube. Loaded as a Beast. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and that's it.
All right, make sure y'all check out my boy Loaded is a Beast. And for me, Kenny Bomber's in the building. Shout out to Real Take Wrestling in the chat as well. Again, we're going impromptu, but we are here today. Y'all can find me at Kenny Bomb on YouTube. Y'all could find me at Kenny Bomb 4K on the website formerly known as Twitter. I'm covering everything, y'all. Everything. Dragon Ball Sparking 0, Mortal Kombat 1, WWE 2K24 coming up, AEW Fight Forever. We're still trying to hold on hope, but honestly, I think we might be too late. We'll talk about that. And last, but most certainly not least, we got my boy Bryan in the building.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all can find me at Just Bryan, New York to be exact, bro. I haven't uploaded last week.
It's Bryan and why?
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I haven't uploaded this week. I've been a little sick, but we're gonna get back on that grind.
We're going to get back on that grind, and you got to get better because we will be at World's End on, when is that? December 30th?
December 30th.
December 30th.
December 30th. We will be at AEW World's End, so if y'all are out there, make sure y'all tap in, let us know, and we'll link up or something.
Yep.
Shout out to Omar. I know he is going to be out there as well. Looking forward to getting with him also. But fellas, collectively, off the top, we in the building. What do y'all want to start talking about first?
I mean, we can talk. I got an idea. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, the segment. Did we talk about that before? If we didn't,
let's talk about it. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. So everybody was saying this was a super good segment. Super great segment. What did you think about it, Kero? Because, I mean, you're kind of a critical guy. What did you think about it?
Last week or like 2 weeks ago when CM Punk came in.
Yeah,
For
not
the
this
first
week
time,
because,
to
of course, they weren't on TV tonight. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a holiday episode, and each and every single year when it's Halloween, when it's Christmas, we see some of the worst stuff ever, like historically bad stuff. And this today was no different. Let's just put it that way. CM Punk, when he first came into Raw and caught that lackluster promo, I didn't want to watch the weekly shows anymore. And I definitely didn't want to see what was going to happen with him next. But thankfully, they got me back with this segment. Now, I'm not saying it was a masterpiece, but I really enjoyed the fact that, like, he did say he was going to sign to Raw. And I thought that was it, right? Then he was gonna leave. Okay, I'm signed to Raw. All right, goodbye. That's all I'm gonna give you this week until WrestleMania. We got time. But nah, Seth Rollins' music hits out of nowhere, and I love that because I was just doing this right while watching the segment, and when I hear Seth Rollins' music, I was like, oh shit, hold on, let me check this out.
They're going in for it.
Yeah, and they tried to go in for it, and I enjoyed it. Like, it wasn't anything spectacular, but it was definitely the Seth Rollins that I wanted to see. Because I just hate him being not serious, doing all the, laughing, the Waluigi laugh, and just the weird, like, clothing. Exactly.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he came in, took off the glasses, and threw him. And, like, he was serious right off the bat. And outside of this feud, outside of this storyline, Seth Rollins should continue towards that direction. Don't bring back the goofy jackets and anything like that. Tone that down. Be serious, because when Seth Rollins is serious, it's pretty damn awesome. Yeah, as far as anything else goes, like, this is the only thing to watch for on Raw right now. You got LA Knight, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, anybody you can think of over at SmackDown. This is literally all there is to it. Like, it's either this, or it's the Judgment Day, or the Alpha Academy, or not even the Alpha. I wish. I like Jason Jordan. It's is it the Alpha Academy? See, I don't even know their names at this point.
Yeah,
but I've been watching them.
No, it
American Alpha is what you were
American Alpha.
Yeah.
American Alpha.
There you go. It's it was a shining light, and that's all I'm gonna check out moving forward until Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. Unless WWE gives me another reason, I'll check out CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Other than that, though, oof. I liked it, though. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people said they enjoyed it. They said it was a very explosive segment, but I don't know. I think it was just a copy of the Hangman, the Adam Page segment.
It was better.
Seth Rollins went in there and said the same thing Adam Page said. CM Punk gave him the same look he gave Adam Page. Same song and dance. CM Punk comes back to WWE, makes random appearances on these shows, and he's not making an impact at all, if you ask me. Because when he was in AEW, he was on the shows every single week. Sure, he's selling merch, whatever. Sell up all the merch you want, but I'm not watching the TV to see the merch you sell. I'm watching the TV to actually see a good show. And WWE just isn't delivering that for us tonight. What do you think about it, Bryan? Because I know you're a big fan of CM Punk, WWE, and everything of the inner workings. So let's get your take first, and then we'll...
So I thought the promo was probably one of the best promos we've seen this year, coming from Rollins and Punk. I think Rollins meant some of the stuff that he was saying. It was I thought it was a good promo in my opinion, Bryan. I have no problems with it. I am looking forward to seeing how it unravels throughout the next couple months. I think it was a good move by Punk to stay quiet, because you still got all the way till Mania. This is like a 3-4 month build that you got to just try and stretch that out. So it's better that they gave us pieces and things like that and not just let it all out on that one promo. So I definitely appreciate the fact that that wasn't done.
Yeah. So I got to shout out Real Take Wrestling in the chat, who says Hangman Page's promo was better. Think about the chain of events it set off. And I completely agree with that. Like you said, Seth Rollins, it seemed like he really meant what he was saying, but no.
Yeah.
Page really meant what he was saying.
Exactly. He really meant it, and he was completely unprofessional. Like, that's not what you do as a professional wrestler.
How did that end?
That's
for
what's
y'all?
on the script.
How did that end for y'all?
There's no script in AEW.
That is the most taboo thing that would get you.
How did that end for y'all, though?
It would get you fired anywhere else. Anywhere else that's professional.
It did not end great. He just opened up doors for WB. Did not end great.
WB is not taking WWE. WWE is not going to WB. They may try to get an offer from WB just to play against somebody else, but WB is in debt and they cannot afford WWE because they're not going to make any money from WWE.
They might be able to, bro.
They're going to make more money with WWE than AEW.
Yeah, I mean AEW, they're just a sinking ship at the moment.
How's AEW a sinking ship if they made more money this year than they made last year?
I don't.
They're
What do you
doing
mean?
good business. Y'all compare what they're doing
It's
to what
hard.
WWE
That
is
is
doing, and y'all say it's a sinking ship.
That is
You're
a
the only
horrible.
one talking about AEW right now.
That is
No,
a-
he just said AEW is a sinking ship.
That is a horrible comparison. He said
I'm
they
sorry.
made
Go
more
ahead,
money
Mr.
than
Dubbs.
last
What did
year.
you think about
That's
this,
like-
Seth
that's
Rollins?
like- hold
That's
on.
the goal. That's the goal. You make more money than you made
They
last
put
year.
in $10 million and they make $5 million. You're losing more than you're making. First of all,
Any new business is going to lose money to begin
That's
with.
not
But you
true
stick
at
with
all.
it and you keep going, and then you start
that's
making
not a
money.
universal role. No,
Every business starts off in the red because you have to spend money before you make money.
that's
But
debatable.
they've been around for what,
That's
6
very
years now?
debatable.
That's a fact. That's a
They've been around
fact
for what,
because
6
if
years?
you got $1 million and you spend $500,000
Right.
to start that business,
You're
up,
negative
you gotta
500K. You got to make that back.
$500,000 back before
Yes,
you
but they've been
start being
around. They've
profitable.
been
That's
around
just
for 6
business.
years though. They've been around for 6 years though.
For the 6 years running a wrestling company up against a juggernaut WWE is, that's selling stuff just because their name. They're making the necessary steps, doing what they need to do. But go ahead, Mr. Dubbs.
They're sinking.
Hi guys. So yeah, I'm pretty sure WCW put up some pretty good numbers in '99. Then they had 2000. They were a sinking ship before 2000, and '99. I think they put up record profits. Just throwing that out there as far as AEW doing record profits and how is it a sinking ship? I mean, writing's on the wall when they're like, WBD has completely shut down discussions with WWE. Oh, CM Punk's there now? Oh, David Zaslav is not the guy who signed AEW up to TNT in the begin with, and they have a chance at the number one. I love AEW. I don't want it going anywhere, but it's a sad reality to try and be like, well, they had record profits this year. How is it a sinking ship? Every one of their top stars is injured. Kenny Omega, gone indefinitely.
That's wrestling, though.
But Kenny Omega may never come back to wrestling. Young Bucks are off TV. All the people that they took instead of CM Punk, Hangman's the only one standing. Only one standing. Punk, Jack Perry off TV. Bucks off TV. Kenny Omega, who's the whole reason they should have got rid of Punk. If you have to keep one, you keep Kenny Omega. Younger, more potential. Oh, maybe done for wrestling forever. We don't know. Diverticulitis. We'll see how if he's able to come back at all. Bryan Danielson, wrestling injured all the time because they have all their injured stars. Everyone is injured. Adam Page is injured. MJF is going to have his match and then probably be out for 6 months. This is not necessarily a sinking ship, but you can't say that anything is good about AEW, what's happening to them right now, because their entire top 10 talent are gone. This is a great moment for Swerve Strickland to take that company and carry it. But this has nothing to do with the CM Punk segment. It's just from everything you guys are saying without being able to get a word in edgewise. But as far as CM Punk's segment from last week,
wait. No, you can't jump forward. We gotta finish that topic.
I didn't get to touch any of these topics.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But you just dropped a lot of information. We can't just roll past it because I think based on what you just said, AEW is actually in a great place. If all of their top stars are injured, they're back against the wall, and it's time for them to create new stars, and that's where they are going to thrive. Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, those are the guys they came in with. That's the old guard. It's time to bring in the new guys, the Julia Harts, the Swerve Stricklands. Build these wrestlers up to lead your TV, and then you got a future and not just these guys who you've been depending on all this time.
Who are
Are
some guys?
we
Are
in
some guys?
Are we in the new generation era? Or are we in the Attitude Era coming up?
We can be in a new generation era.
Are we just getting rid of Hulk Hogan,
Can I
Macho
ask
Man,
y'all a question,
Ultimate Warrior, all those guys? Or are we getting rid of like Diesel and Razor Ramon and having to build up the Rock? Like, what part are we in history if we want to make the comparison?
Hold on, let me ask y'all a question though, bro.
We have an opportunity to build new stars.
Because you're talking about new stars. Who are the two aside from Julia Hart and Swerve?
Why are you taking away two big stars? Why are you saying aside from
No.
Yeah, why are you taking away
doesn't make
Here I'm gonna say. What other stars or what other potential stars are in the company at the moment? Obviously, Swerve, the writing is on the wall. I think he's going to be huge if they play their cards right. Julia Hart, I think she's great.
The acclaimed Andrade El Idolo, the House of Black. You've got
House of Black has been
Sky Blue, Thunder Rosa. You're gonna have. I don't know where Britt Baker is. I don't know. Riho's back.
And he didn't say Will Ospreay yet. Keep in mind, he didn't say Will Ospreay yet.
I mean, okay, but Will Ospreay.
Athena's going to be coming.
What is the Kool-Aid commercial?
Will Ospreay and Andrade. I would like to see Andrade. I mean, he's been winning most
Will
of his
Ospreay's
matches
good, yeah.
lately, and I've been.
I mean,
and
he
I
just
do wanna
cooked
see-
on you, Brian. No, you asked him a question. He gave you the answer. Period.
Giving you
I'm not-
answers.
I'm
I've got
not
10 more
dis- I'm
stars
not-
for you. I haven't
I'm
even
not
mentioned Keith
dis-
Lee.
I'm
I
not.
haven't mentioned Wardlow.
I'm not disagreeing.
Keith Lee, Wardlow.
I'm not
Whoo,
disagreeing,
he cooking.
but-
Jungle
but-
Boy.
but a lot
Jungle
of these-
Boy coming back.
A lot of these guys that a lot of these
Jungle
guys
Boy's
that you
a
guys.
star. Okay, man.
A lot
Jungle
of these,
Boy's gonna be a star.
He's not a
Watch.
star. He might
No,
not.
no,
If
nah,
Jungle Boy's
WWE
gonna be a
signs
star.
that
Watch.
WB deal, they might get rid of him.
Chill.
But anyway, what I'm saying is, bro, y'all naming all these stars, but I feel like a lot of these stars they fumbled the bag on, bro. They got to start making some moves.
Fumble the
You're
bag
saying-
on stars.
You're
They
saying
fumbled-
Look at
coming
they
up-
fumbled
WWE's
the bag-
roster right
they
now. These
fumbled the
guys
bag
are
on Andrade.
castrated. Look at
Wait,
WWE's
why are we
roster
talking
right
about
now.
WWE all of a sudden? What happened?
Yeah,
Because he
Talk
just
about
said
AEW. What's going-
AEW dropped
talk
the ball
about
on these
WWE.
stars.
Yeah, they
Who
have
cares?
dropped the ball on
Talk
some of
about
these
Y'all don't want
stars.
to talk about
They have.
WWE, huh?
They
As
have
long
those.
as y'all know.
No,
Yeah,
let's talk
though.
about WWE.
These
when
guys
it's
in
You just,
WWE are-
you just mentioned Keith Lee, and they've dropped the ball completely on him. Not saying that WWE
Yeah, I mean-
didn't, but we're talking
Okay,
about AEW
okay.
right now.
No, we're talking about
Top
both.
five.
Now we're
No, we
talking
were
about
talking
both.
about CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Now
Top
we're
five.
talking about AEW.
Yes.
So now we're not talking about
'Cause you-
WWE
'cause
when the
here's-
topic
no,
is literally
because-
WWE right now.
Because here's what you said. You said, oh, CM Punk doesn't move the needle or whatever the case is, but
I
literally.
still want to touch on that. That's my point. I haven't even got to talk about
All right,
that.
go ahead.
So you're not
Let's-
allowed to go
let's
back
send
to
it-
that. You're
let's
not allowed
send
to
it
go
to
back
Mr.
to that because
Go
I'm
ahead,
not allowed
Mr.
to go
Dubbs.
back to that. But
We'll go
if
ahead
we're
and jump
talk-
because they said
But they asked the question, who do you have to make stars? You said, oh, they have all these stars. Bryan is calling all these AEW names I named stars. I'm not saying Wardlow's a star. He's not a star. Who knows
He can
Wardlow
be.
outside of AEW? He can be a star. You can't say he dropped the ball because he hasn't left. He's still there. They haven't
Right.
dropped the ball on Keith Lee. He's still there, and he's been tag team champion.
They dropped the
They've-
ball on him big
Think
time,
of
bro.
think of everybody.
He got white hair
Think
all
of
over him
everybody.
now.
Think of everybody AEW's
dyed
made a
his hair
tag team
this time.
champion. The only people who've been tag team champion that mean nothing anymore are Scorpio Sky. Him and what's his name that's no longer in the company. Everybody
Frankie
else has been a
Kazarian.
tag team. Everybody
Frankie
else, yeah,
Daniels?
Frankie Kazarian.
oh, yeah.
But everybody else that they've made tag team champions, they've taken very seriously. It's been FTR, the Bucks, the Lucha Bros, anyone who's held those belts. That's why I think Big Bill and Ricky Starks, it means something that they have the belt. It means something when the Acclaimed had it. It meant something when Swerve and Keith had it. They take their tag titles seriously. So you can say they haven't done anything with Keith Lee. They didn't do anything with Miro either. But Miro still feels, when he's on my TV, I'm still interested in seeing him. Because
Yeah,
they
I'm
have
not.
so many
He's like a
talents.
star.
They
What's
dropped the
going
ball
on in
on him too.
WWE? Like the same thing. WWE doesn't have in their stars. We're saying, oh, we need to protect our stars. Oh, but if you're not featured on AEW TV every week, oh, well, then you're just, you know what I mean? You're dropping the ball. You're just dropping the ball.
No, but
Well, MJF
that's
The whole
that's
thing
not what
that
I
makes
mean at
MJF
all.
special is that he wasn't on TV.
Yeah, but no, that's not what I mean at
Right?
all. What I'm saying, what I'm speaking
This
on,
is their
when I'm,
chance.
when I'm, yeah, I
There's
understand
chance
what
now.
you mean.
There's
but
10 people. So
yeah,
they're going to have to put these people on TV. They
I
don't
get-
have a choice now.
no, but I get
So
what
now
you
is
mean
the
by that.
time to-
But even like
Now
with
is the
Swerve and
time.
Keith Lee, they dropped the ball on that too, and that was supposed to be a rivalry. They didn't treat.
All
like,
right. So how many guys did WWE drop the ball on? That's what I want to talk about.
I'm not talking about
Ricochet,
that though.
many.
Ted, dropped the ball on him and he's done. Kevin
Ricochet
Owens, they
cut a
dropped the
promo.
ball on him. He's
Nah, they
done.
didn't
many?
drop the ball on Kevin Owens. I just think later
Cesaro,
on
they
throughout his
dropped the ball
career,
on him. He's done. Come on,
Akira
Kevin Owens
Tozawa,
was
that's what
hot.
she said.
When Kevin Owens
Kev-
came in
Kev-
and
they put
faced
the-
John
they put
Cena,
the strap
he was
on him.
hot.
They put
He's
the
never
strap
been
on
that
him.
hot again.
So how can they drop the ball on him? They put
Bro,
the
that's
strap
Finn
on
Vince,
him.
Balor.
man. That's not.
Finn Balor, they
Lord,
dropped the
Lord.
ball on him.
That's
Done.
Vince, bro.
Will
Sami
Hobbs.
Zayn.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
Sami Zayn, they
but-
castrated the
but-
man.
No, but
Kenny,
my
Mark
thing
Kenny,
is,
you have to
Briscoe.
stop. You have to
And these
stop.
are
It's
huge
Kenny,
stars.
Kenny, you have to stop.
How did
because
Sami
it's
Zayn
always
get the
going to be
ball
the
dropped
defense
on
of
him?
that was Vince McMahon.
Exactly.
That was Vince McMahon.
I don't care.
It's always
Listen,
it's clean slate Triple H now,
but-
so you can't
but
say
my
anything about.
thing, my thing is, y'all sitting here, we sitting here comparing both companies. That ain't even what I'm trying to do. I'm just talking about the people, right? Because you're talking about these people are gonna come in and take over. I'm talking about they dropped the ball on those wrestlers. They gotta make some stuff up. I'm not saying that they wasn't that I'm not trying to compare WWE.
Well, you can
and
agree
AEW in this
WWE
instant.
dropped the ball on a lot of these guys. You can agree with
I
that?
100% agree with that.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
What do you mean?
Both
What-
companies, if they're dropping
what-
the ball with the wrestlers, then what's the issue?
But that's not the
We do have
conversation
to
we're
understand-
having. Hold on, that's
have
not
to
the.
It was
understand
about
it's-
AEW, but we're suddenly talking about
No, but
WWE.
hold
now.
on,
You
hold
were
on.
talking about WWE, kiddo. You brought the
No,
topic
no,
up.
no,
Seth
no,
Rollins
no.
and CM Punk.
No, wait,
and y'all
but hold
started
on.
talking about
Hey,
I'm
AEW.
not
this
able to
is-
say anything.
Hold
about
on, Kenny. Though this is not the conversation we're having, though, bro. I'm not trying to compare. I'm not trying to shit on one company and uplift the other. What I'm trying to say is, bro, you guys are talking about this. All this top talent is injured right now in
Yes.
AEW. So
And we just
a lot of
gave you
these
the
guys,
Which
a lot
means
of
any storylines that they've had been in the works for the last 6 months, which is what happened when Adam Cole got injured, because the whole devil and the whole storyline that was supposed to play out involved Adam Cole, who's like, oh, every time they have big plans. First, it was CM Punk. It was going to be CM Punk versus MJF. Bye-bye Punk. Okay, it's going to be Adam Cole. Okay, he's injured. Every time they have a big money program that they're trying to build to for the last year and a half, AEW has had someone get injured, someone fall out. Tony's had to rebook everything because he likes to do. Everybody's like, oh, well, they're doing terrible long-term storytelling. It's because all his wrestlers fall off. All his toys that he has plugged in somewhere, it's like, oh shit, I got to reshuffle the deck all over again. He keeps having to do that. So yes, this is going to be a great moment for Swerve. It's going to be a great moment for Keith Lee. It's going to be a great moment for Brian Cage. It's going to be a great moment for a lot of people who are going to get on TV and going to get TV time. People
they're doing some good stuff with Keith Lee right now too.
Cage?
And you can see the Murder Hawk monster. You can see the Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer come back.
You guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about Ben and Stars?
You're
right
saying,
now?
hold on. You're saying Tony couldn't book these guys because they get injured, not because of terrible booking. What did he do to Wardlow? He literally destroyed Wardlow with all the momentum he had. Will Hobbs, he keeps putting him up and destroying him. I'm so sad for Will Hobbs, dude. I want to see him win.
Doesn't watch AEW is telling me how they destroyed
fair to say.
Wardlow.
My thing is
they are hot and cold on Will Hobbs too,
my thing I've noticed with AEW is they'll get this wrestler hot and then they'll be off TV for like the next 2-3 weeks.
Like they got potential. They can do it.
WWE doesn't do that exactly though, bro. They might drop the ball elsewhere, but they don't take them off TV though.
Kenny, that's where you're wrong. WWE does not get wrestlers hot; they get wrestler and storyline.
Right.
Hot.
You're right.
And then the rest of the show is, and the rest of the show's garbage. So you forget who's off TV for weeks because the rest of the show's just terrible. You get one storyline that's good on per show, and that's it, and that's our focus. And then the rest is just here's some matches with mid-tier talent, mid. Who have they built out? Tell me who WWE has built in the last 10 years that's not named John Cena. And he wasn't built in the last 10 years. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. Tell me in the last 5 years. Cody Rhodes built himself before he came in. And they took that momentum and went with it. Number one draw in the company. See, Kenny, you might hate it or not. Number one draw in the company, you might hate it. It's CM Punk. He built himself.
Mr.Dubbs is cooking.
CM Punk, and going back to this segment from last week, you can tell me he's not a draw and all he does is sell t-shirts. The man's segment during 2 football games brought 400,000 more viewers to the show just for his segment that fell off immediately after. Their demo numbers of 18 to 40 males, that went higher than AEW's entire viewership just for his segment. CM Punk is a draw. The biggest draw they have, but he was built 15 years ago. They haven't built anybody in the last 5 years. Kevin Owens was a chance. That was even 5 years ago.
CM Punk was a draw.
Gunther's not a draw.
For
You
his
can't
first
tell
week.
me. Look at the ratings and tell me Gunther's a draw.
It's going to go back down to earth. He was for his first few weeks. He's just coming back in.
Gunther's just part of the show.
You
He's
think
not
he's
a
just
draw.
part of the
too
show?
much credit right now.
Bro,
It's just part of the show.
I don't think you watch
It's
the
not a
product
draw.
enough. Then I'm not saying he's the biggest draw, but he's definitely
Gunther's
been
just
built.
part of the show.
If you want to
He's
talk
not a
about
star.
stuff, he's
Tell
not
me
just
how he
part
moves
of the
the
show.
quarterback. No,
He's
the
just
draw
a
is
part
the
of the
one who
show.
moves the numbers.
He's not a part
Who
of the show,
moves
but
numbers?
I'm not saying that
Who
he's
moves
the
the
biggest draw in the
segments?
world. But I think they've
He's
definitely
not
done.
well, you
and
can
they've
definitely
been-
can't say that.
They've been building him for what?
Right.
Two
And it's-
years?
Clarification. We're talking about Gunther, right?
Yeah.
Go through quarter hour numbers and
Okay.
tell me how much he
Swerve
moves the
is a
needle.
bigger star right now than Gunther is.
Who is?
But
Swerve.
I would say by the numbers
How
in
long
their
have you been
segments.
building Gunther?
I would
mean,
say
you've
by the
been-
numbers in their segments, that's not true though, because there's more viewers on the WWE product than AEW.
There's
so-
more viewers on
so your segment-
WWE in general.
Exactly. So if you want to go
That's
numbers by
WWE.
numbers,
not
Gunther's
people
going to have
watching
more
for
ratings for
Gunther.
his segment than Swerve is.
But you can't
because
put
they have
numbers by
double the
numbers
viewership.
because you're putting
Exactly.
WWE, which is
It's
the
apples to
brand,
oranges.
against. You can't
Well,
do that.
it's oranges.
My thing is, bro, everybody you build is not going to be a draw. That just don't make
Why
no
not?
sense.
Why not?
Everybody
How
you
do sell
build,
tickets?
bro.
You look at
let's talk
UFC,
about-
the guys they build up, they're built up to be draws.
We're not, bro. We can't compare UFC
That's-
with this shit, bro. You know
I mean,
that.
even if you
It's
build
owned by the same
WWE, you're
company.
building guys up to be draws. I mean, that's the point of building somebody up so people can come see them.
They built CM Punk. They built Bryan Danielson. They built Randy Orton. They built John Cena. They built Batista. They built the entire Shield. What do you mean they don't build draws? Who's left that draws for them? The guys they built 10 years ago.
I never said they don't
And
build draws,
guys,
though. What are y'all
all
talking about?
Guys,
Never
all
said
their
that.
draws.
You said that. You
all
said
their
everybody they build is not going to draw.
No, everybody
all
they
their
build
draws
is
were
not
built by
going to
Vince.
draw.
Well, they can't build stars then.
Okay, who has
They
Triple
definitely
H built that's a
What,
draw?
What
what
are
has
they building?
what has AEW
Who has
done?
Triple H
Please
specific?
enlighten
Who has
me.
Triple H
Since they
specifically
built
built?
so many stars.
AEW beat
MJF,
NXT when they were going head to head.
Cody
Triple H's been
Rhodes,
around for a year.
Kenny
Cody
Omega.
Rhodes, AEW ain't do shit, bro. Cody Rhodes did that.
Cody
Cody
Rhodes
Rhodes
was
did that
not a star
himself.
before AEW.
Cody Rhodes did that
was not a
himself.
star before AEW.
Stop it.
He was
He was
not.
not a star.
Cody
He was
Rhodes
not
did that
anything
himself,
before
bro.
AEW.
Cody Rhodes
And you
did that
can't
himself.
forget
Cody Rhodes was mid-tier at best, but that's the whole thing. You do it yourself in AEW because that's the freedom Tony Khan allowed you.
Yeah, and look
He
at where
allows
that's
you to
gotten
build
him.
yourself.
Look at where
Sink
that's
or
gotten
Luke
swim.
him.
Harper was headed to
Yeah,
star
if they-
status.
He built the two
Brody
biggest
Lee.
stars in wrestling today are because of AEW. CM Punk wouldn't be in WWE and wouldn't be part of the conversation if it wasn't for AEW. Cody Rhodes wouldn't be where he is or part of the WrestleMania conversation if it wasn't for AEW. You would not have your WrestleMania 2 night main events without AEW. And who built the other two guys? Was it Triple H? No, it was Vince. Show me a guy that Triple H has built.
He's been around for 1 year. He's been around for 1 year. What are you talking about?
1 year is long enough to build somebody up as a star.
I think he's done.
You need a
pretty good-
month.
I think he's done pretty
You
good job.
give somebody some fire
Fire
behind
start
them
a year.
in the
Hangman's
first
a star
month
with a
and
year.
start
Pretty good job,
pushing.
bro. I think he's done a pretty
Who
good
did
job.
Triple H build? Who did he
Braun
build up?
Breaker.
The Judgment Day?
Braun Breaker's all I've seen. Braun Breaker's all I've seen.
I give
He's
Shawn
gonna be a
Michaels
star.
that.
Braun Breaker's going to be a star.
Braun Breaker's
He's going to
been
be a huge
around
star.
since Triple H era, bro. What
Yeah.
you talking about?
And
But Triple H is on the main roster right now
Yeah, but
Braun
how you gonna
Breaker
give
will be a
Shawn
breakout
Michaels
star.
that when Triple H
because
is
he's
there?
dealing with him right now. Shawn Michaels got him cooking right now. So when
But
he
who
gets
has-
ready, it's going to be because he had that touch of Shawn Michaels on him.
Who's the Triple H guy that's the draw?
I don't think there's specific.
Kevin Owens was it.
guy
Kevin
right
Owens,
now.
to me, Kevin Owens and Finn Balor were his guys, and they're not the draws.
And they castrated him.
Yeah.
They killed
Vince
Kevin
McMahon
Owens.
built-
And I don't
Vince
care what
McMahon
y'all
built
say
the
about
last
Sami
stars in
Zayn.
WWE.
They turned
Sami
him
Zayn-
into a joke.
Sami Zayn is super hot right
buried him.
now as well, in my opinion.
Sami Zayn
I love,
is not
Sam, I
super
love
hot.
Sam. I love Sami Zayn as a wrestler.
Yeah.
I always have.
I
I've
think
enjoyed the character
I
work
think-
he did as a bloodline, but I
yeah.
haven't followed him enough lately to know what he even know. What
Sami Zayn in NXT was peak Sami Zayn when he had the short hair with the short beard.
No. I'm not. Listen, I'm not disagreeing, but Sami Zayn's work within
But
the
they
past
hurt him.
year, Sami Zayn's work within the past year has been great, in my opinion.
Why are
He's a
these
good
guys
babyface.
going
I
from the
haven't
small
watched. I
stage of
haven't watched
NXT
enough, but what I've
and
seen,
why
I've
are they
liked.
better on that small stage
I've
than
seen,
in
I've
the
liked.
big production area? It doesn't make sense.
So wait, say that one more time, Kenny.
Why are these guys better in the small production area of NXT than they are on the main stage? It doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Smaller
I mean,
fish. No
I don't-
big
yeah.
fish to fight,
I
against.
I wish I could tell you the answer to that, bro, because I'm really.
I
scared
mean,
to
there's a
fumble.
different audience.
Carmelo?
Everything is different.
Yeah, everything is really
The way you're
different.
supposed to work is
But
different.
it doesn't
as well.
matter. It
'Cause I
doesn't
think-
matter.
I
If
think-
you can build the stars up, then you can build these guys on the main roster. Look, they did it with Bianca Belair.
And sorry, I apologize. I was wrong. There are the stars that Triple H built. Their names are Becky Lynch. Their names are Sasha Banks. Their names are Bayley, and their names are Charlotte, and their names are Rhea Ripley. So he built the women. So I apologize because he did build that entire division. I will give him full credit for that. That was not a Vince thing, for sure.
All right. So to get back on track, let's go ahead and clean these things up. What did you think, Mr. Dubbs, about the CM Punk, Seth Rollins whole shish kebab thing whatever you want to call it?
For having to watch an entire 3-hour watch along of Raw for my first Raw in very long and getting a quick 3-minute, 4-minute segment of CM Punk that was neutered, he didn't get time, then watching parts of SmackDown just for the CM Punk segments. The SmackDown segment was better. This week on Raw, where he had the promo with Seth Rollins, was the best we've seen of him in WWE since he's come back. He still hasn't shown his best stuff yet, but he did point out, okay, this is your one time you get the pass, where whatever they probably let them both maybe do it a little bit in the ring. Just here's your skeleton of what you're going to say and go do it. And maybe Rollins took his shots and he said, that's fine. You're doing your best Hangman impersonation. That's cool. That's the only time you get this. Enjoy it. And, Punk will come back with something better. But tonight I was expecting that something better. Instead, we got a recap and then we got going back to Drew McIntyre. And tonight, Seth Rollins did have a good promo again against Drew. And the thing that stuck out to me was tonight when he said, I hate, and I mean what I said about fucking CM Punk. I hate that guy. I hate him. I don't hate you, Drew. I pity you. And he walked away, and then they got in a fight. And I thought that was like, whoa, drop the ball. Because Drew had an impassioned promo about how he's got to do it, and like he's fell off and blah, blah, blah. But his promo wasn't as memorable as Rollins. I think Rollins is on fire. Haven't watched the product as long, but I think he's way better at promos now than he was even a year, 2 years ago. I don't think that he'll get the best
I
of
don't think
CM
so.
Punk every week. I don't think he'll be getting. Sure, I'm just saying from what I remember of Rollins
I just wanted to make sure that was clear. I don't think so.
And the fact that he was serious enough last week to not give us a ha, like he didn't give us any of that crap. He took it seriously. That meant something to me because I was waiting for that moment where he's just going to give you that gotcha. Ha! I'm still a stupid Joker character. No, we don't want that for the CM Punk promos. Just play. If you don't have to be a tweener, you don't have to be a bad guy. It doesn't matter. Just be honest. Tell us that you hate Punk and let it be a blood feud. Great, fantastic. That's what we want. But more promo time. I don't need to see CM Punk wrestle before the Royal Rumble. I don't.
Oh, no. That's not okay. That's not okay because he was wrestling kind of week to week on AEW. He's getting tore up, but still.
And we don't
But
need
Loaded, I don't know why, but you are a CM Punk fan as well for some reason. So what did you think about his promo with Seth Rollins?
It was freaking fantastic, bro. Like I thought it was better than the Hangman one.
There we
bro.
go.
Like it was. It was a lot better, a lot more powerful. The thing with Hangman was that he went off script.
There is no script in AEW. How are you off script?
But Seth Rollins is
there are bounds you cannot cross.
Hold on.
Let the man speak.
I just got a question. So do y'all think there was a paper Hangman was supposed to read from and he just like ripped it up and said, I'm going to say what I want to say?
Not at all.
I think there was an agreement of this is what we're going to go over. This is the skeleton. Like these are our talking points. And then Hangman
I don't even think that's the case.
into business for himself.
Listen, bro. I just think
go ahead, Loaded. I'm sorry, y'all. I just need to know that. Go ahead,
Let Loaded speak, man.
Go ahead, Loaded.
I think he went into business for himself to piss him off. Punk didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about when I first watched. I was like, "What's going on?"
Same.
He wanted to protect the company.
Fucking weird.
He wanted to protect the company from him. I'm like, "What you talking about?" And then you get reports a few months later, like, "Oh, this was about Colt Cabana." I'm like, "Are you serious?" Like he became a whiny little bitch over Colt Cabana. Seriously?
That's what CM Punk did. I'm tired. I'm old. I'm working with children. You're whining and crying at the press conference.
I mean, bro,
they should not be EVPs.
Loaded has talked about something great. Like it's one of the biggest problems with AEW. Stuff happens in the internet, the dark corners of the internet, where two people see it and then they reference it on live television as if everybody is supposed to get it. And that Hangman promo, I agree with you 100%. When he went up on CM Punk, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Did I miss something? What's going on?
Yeah, it was very confusing when it happened live. Yeah. So it didn't make the impact that the Seth Rollins one.
Exactly. It didn't make the impact, but that tells you he didn't go out there to make an impact. He went out there to cut that promo. But while I'm cutting this promo, I'm going to keep it raw. I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't like you. Here's why. But he still kept it in the vein and telling the story of the match. It brought that real passion. Nobody knew what he was talking about. I didn't know. Y'all just said y'all didn't know. So what's the problem? Why didn't CM Punk? I mean, get over it. He just went out there and killed you in the promo and you didn't like it.
The problem was that they pushed him away.
It didn't make sense. It didn't kill him. It just didn't make sense.
It killed him. It killed him inside. It didn't make sense to us, but inside it killed him. He was like,
because it was unprofessional coming from the guy.
It was fire.
Don't take
it
advice.
was passion.
I don't take advice.
Why are you even in wrestling? Why are you even in wrestling if you're not gonna work with someone else?
My thing is, bro. My thing is with chat.
These guys did this back in the day all the time.
No, bro. But what you're not getting is that AEW, it's completely creative. There's not a lot of scripts there. But there are certain things that you can just not cross, and he did that. Like that's just.
But you didn't even know what he was talking about. So how could you say there's certain lines he don't cross?
I mean, look at where
CM Punk went out there in the ring and said,
"Exactly,
Hangman Page is not selling T-shirts. All of his T-shirts are piled up on the table out there. What are you doing?
You don't talk about backstage.
That's okay.
Stuff.
Exactly, but CM Punk going out there after this situation saying that is okay.
It's
CM
like
Punk sending guys home from Collision like he's the boss is okay.
And do you think that split up on different shows is okay?
CM Punk went back there acting like a diva.
That's Tony Khan's fault. He shouldn't have let that happen.
Exactly. That's TK. Sure. That's TK. That's all TK.
Can't blame that on Punk.
That's all TK.
But Punk is a diva. He's a diva.
That's all TK.
So was Hangman. He's a diva.
So was Shawn Michaels.
So
was Shawn Michaels.
Everything is TK's fault at the end. Like he has to keep it under control.
Shawn Michaels has been the biggest supporter of CM Punk coming back and in his original run.
They're both divas.
Because they're both the same. And CM Punk or Shawn Michaels was the one saying to Bret Hart on live TV, somebody's been having sunny days, when Bret Hart's a married man and his wife's like, what the was that? What was that on live television? You think Bret was happy about that?
Been out there doing it up.
What's a sunny day mean?
But the thing is, they hated each other. They kept working together.
Screwing around with Sunny in the back. But we don't know if he was. Shawn Michaels apparently everybody
He
slept
should
with
have been
Sonny.
backstage
But
doing
Bret
it up.
Hart's never acknowledged it, but he was married and it caused strife in his marriage. and an
Acknowledge
issue.
me.
You know what I mean? Stuff on live
Hey,
TV.
you play with fire, you get burnt.
But
Shout
Shawn
out to
Michaels
Shawn
got
Michaels.
away with that
Son.
stuff all the time. So that's what I'm saying. Punk and CM Punk are cut from the same cloth.
All right, well, Loaded, did you have anything else to add to the terrible takes you have for CM Punk?
Listen,
Terrible. Bias.
this segment was fantastic. Punk is gonna cook
Oh,
him when
come on,
he wins that Rumble. It's gonna happen. I don't think he's gonna win the title because he's been gone for 10 years. For him to come back and just win the
Look at
title,
How they did it with
I
Cody,
think he's
bro.
gonna
They,
lose.
they
You think
had
he's
Seth
gonna
put him
lose to
over 3
Rollins?
times.
yeah, I
Ain't
think
no
he's
way.
gonna lose.
No,
I think
no
they're
way.
not. He's
Not
not
at
losing
He was
Rollins.
WrestleMania.
gone. He was
He
gone
would lose
for
to
10
Reigns. He would
Yeah,
lose to
definitely
Reigns,
him.
but not to Rollins.
So where are we going? Is CM Punk going to fight Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble? Is CM
No.
Punk going to wait to fight Seth Rollins
There's no
at
way
WrestleMania? What
no,
are we
already-
doing?
He already declared for the
said he's-
Rumble.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, so
but
he's going to be in the Rumble.
He's
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, he's
Rumble.
in-
Yeah.
So that's
He's
where he's going to
officially
get
in the
injured.
Rumble.
Okay, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to pull a
Yo,
now
hamstring
listen,
or something.
No,
The thing is-
it's going to be the undiagnosed, on his back. The doctor's ignoring his whatever it was last time in the Rumble.
Throwing Z-Packs
Staph
at him, right?
infection.
Staph infection, Z-Packs.
Staph infections. That's what it
He's
was.
gonna
Yeah, the
cry.
staph infection.
Because he didn't get the main
Stephanie
event at
infection,
WrestleMania.
Yo, Kero, we're gonna have to get another WWE fan in this podcast, bro. I don't think
I
I can
know,
take this
Another
right?
one?
any
I got a
longer,
full
bro.
of them already. I mean, I love WWE. What are you talking about? What do you
No.
mean?
For Kenny, it's AEW
good,
and
man.
the Boogeyman, who does everything wrong.
WWF, ECW,
Come on now.
WCW, and
Y'all, I mean, the best days of WWE was in the Attitude Era, so I will say that.
course,
But I mean, it still wasn't bad even after that. It was fine. But up until the pandemic and moving forward, it's just never
Well, I wouldn't go
recovered.
that far.
No,
It's never
I
recovered.
would say like
I mean, it got bad, but it was to the point where you could
06
still at
to, like,
least watch
12
it.
was like pretty bad.
But listen,
exactly.
like,
Those
right
were
now, tonight,
horrible.
Right now, tonight, Monday Night Raw. And Kero, you say it every week. You say the show's bad every week, so I don't know what we're talking about. But tonight, if CM Punk is not on the show, y'all say, oh, he's not on. It's terrible. This is a bad show. This is a hard
It's
show to
awful.
watch. That's terrible.
Yeah.
You got one person on the show that makes the show so great as y'all say it is? Come on. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it.
Bro.
I've never said it was great. I just
No,
had
these
to
guys
watch
said
them
like
all.
Brian
But
and
I don't know.
Kero
how
will
people
say it's
say
great on
that
the
every week.
podcast, but every week he's like, oh, the show was
I
bad
don't know
this
how.
week, y'all.
I don't
Nah,
know how
like
you
Like
do
last
it.
week, though, it was good.
Last 2 weeks been good.
Last week was
so this week
okay,
was good.
but I
Tonight was
didn't- I
good?
could not. No, it wasn't. No.
Tonight was a good
No, it
show,
wasn't.
Brian?
No, I don't think tonight was a good show. I think it had little moments, but it wasn't a good show.
So that means WWE sucks and we should stop watching it
Yeah,
right now
that's
I
because
didn't say
what it'll
stop
be.
watching it because I watched it for
Got it.
years while it sucked. Now it's
Yes.
just the final straw. They've castrated so many good guys they had in the on the roster before that I mean, I just don't see a point in watching anymore. Ricochet should have been a star right now. For one,
Mhm.
Kevin Owens should have been a star at the same level of John Cena, Randy Orton, those guys. Sami Zayn, those were the
Never
guys who
saw him
came
like
up in
that.
that class, and they should have been at the top of the card, and they're just
Agreed.
gone.
I agree.
I mean, Sami Zayn, bro. I don't know
He
how
skipped
else
the
to
whole
say this.
generation. It's just Roman Reigns from their generation. There's like
Yeah, but
nobody else.
Sami Zayn is literally like a top Carter right now, bro. Like
They
he's
would
been in
never
top matches,
put the main belt on Sami Zayn.
and that's fine. There's not too many guys
That's
in
not
WWE
fine.
that
That's
they
not
would
fine.
put
He's
that
not a
on.
star. They don't
That's
see him as a
everyone's
star.
got to be a champion now.
Hey,
What's going on?
Like, I
Jinder
mean,
Mahal was a champion.
Kenny,
bro, you know why that
Kenny,
happened.
I have a question. I have a
Oh,
question.
well, why didn't it happen for Sami Zayn? Because he represents a group of people too. There's no
Kenny-
excuse. What's the excuse?
Kenny, I have a question.
WWE didn't sign a deal with the people that
And
Sami Zayn
let's
represents.
go back and check Sami Zayn's tweets again. Let's
Kenny,
throw that
Kenny?
back out there.
Kenny, I
What
have
did
a
he say? I
question.
still don't know. Okay, go, Mr. Dubbs.
I have a question for Kenny. Was the whole because again, my least favorite time as a fan watching was the whole John Cena era. But through the whole
Yes.
John Cena era and the John Cena, the 5 moves of doom for a generation, there was never a time where he held the belt for 5 years, the main belt for 5 straight years. There was always
Look at
some
again.
switch ups. So are we saying that the talent in the whole John Cena era was better than the current crop of talent? Because I think Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, all those guys, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, all these guys are better than what we had just in the Cena.
And
In
there
the
it is
Cena,
again.
in the Cena era, but you got to think about it. We lost you, Dub, so I'm gonna just go ahead and pick it up from there. So you had John Cena, You had Randy Orton, you had Batista, you had Ric Flair still on the roster, Shawn Michaels, Chris Jericho. I mean, Dolph Ziggler creeping up from the bottom, coming up. You had guys at the top, and you had guys still coming up underneath them. Whoa, that was kind of crazy. But right now, all you got is Roman Reigns. You got Seth Rollins, sure, but Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns is 1A, Seth Rollins is 1D.
So was that crop of talent better than the crop of talent they have now? Is that in your opinion? Because I don't think so.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you mean. It depends on what you mean. Well, no, you know what? It doesn't depend on what you mean. Yes, I do think the crop of talent back then was better. John Cena was better than Roman Reigns. Randy Orton is better than Seth Rollins.
Well, Randy Orton's still just Randy Orton. So
Batista. I mean, who do I put Batista up against? Because they don't have a number 3 right now.
Kevin Owens.
Batista is absolutely better than Kevin Owens.
I disagree.
Dolph Ziggler is better than Sami Zayn.
Who's better than Cody Rhodes?
Kenny's telling the truth right now.
Who's better than Cody Rhodes?
Right now.
Cody Rhodes was Cody Rhodes back then. He was a part of that crop.
Cody Rhodes is sure.
Well, no, Cody Rhodes wasn't Cody Rhodes back then.
Cody Rhodes was Cody Rhodes back then. He was smoking mirrors. He was him. You can't put him up against anybody else because that was him going through his journey. So you can't compare him at the end of his journey to these other guys. So Kero, you just said
but we're talking about
you
the
agree
talent
the
now.
talent back then they had was better than today.
Yeah,
that's
a big part.
I'm not crazy.
That's a big part. Yeah.
Well, that must be the consensus. That must be the consensus.
I mean, I don't know,
and it's not really because these guys aren't great wrestlers. It's because WWE's not booking them as great wrestlers. They focused so much on Roman Reigns and didn't worry about anybody underneath him. So now this is where we are. You got Roman Reigns, empty spaces, Seth Rollins, and then who else? Damian Priest?
I think that's
what are we doing?
I think that's supposed to be the whole point of Roman, though.
That was the whole point of John Cena, but John Cena still had a supporting cast.
No, I think the whole point of Roman is to make him seem levels
Edge,
above everybody. The way we're talking about it right now, that's the whole point of them building Roman this way. Do I agree with it? No.
The only reason Steve Austin was as big as he was because he always had a foil. The only reason Hulk Hogan was as big as he was because he always had a foil. Yeah. Roman Reigns doesn't have a foil.
We're not going to talk about Steve Austin.
I mean, Roman Reigns has also
get crazy back then.
Roman Reigns,
you got Steve Austin, you got The Rock, you got Vince McMahon, Triple H, Undertaker,
I'm not
Kane,
disagreeing with that, but
Mankind, you're going to go crazy. If you go
Roman Reigns has ran through the whole roster, though. So it's like...
But that's what I mean. They didn't have Steve Austin just unanimously beat everybody on the roster all the time for 5 years. They could have, but they didn't.
Because The Undertaker, my brother used to tease me. I just saw him in the chat. Shout out to King M127 who just told me happy birthday, y'all. It's past 12 o'clock.
Happy birthday, my boy.
Happy birthday, King.
Every show, thank you, I appreciate it. Stone Cold used to beat The Undertaker back to back to back, and I used to hate it. That was the one thing I did hate about it back then.
Like he was the number one
The Rock.
guy. He still lost the belt several times. He didn't hold it for all 5 years.
The Rock back then.
He lost the belt. The Rock was the champion going into every WrestleMania they had for a title match.
I mean, bro,
The Rock was the champion.
I mean,
and it was the Austin getting it from him.
I don't know, bro. The whole thing with Roman is they're trying to break all these records too. So it just I don't know. I mean. Would it have happened? And I heard he was supposed to actually lose the title to Brock Lesnar, and that match got called off, and the title stayed on Roman for this long. But he was actually not supposed to keep it this long originally.
I gotta push it forward now. But like even at the Attitude Era, like we had so many cool stars and great moments, but we also had a lot of crappy, completely empty matches. A lot of stuff they threw to the wall and it failed. So I don't know.
I like that. I like throwing stuff to the wall and it fails because you tried.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just play it safe all the time. They don't try anymore.
They're so safe now.
Kenny, I've got your history right here. Stone Cold beat Shawn Michaels.
Looking at my search history on Google. I don't know if you want that.
Stone Cold beat Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14. Stone Cold beat Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14. Lost it to Kane. He won it back from Kane. It was only that 24-hour reign for Kane.
Oh yeah.
And then he lost it to The Undertaker. In Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, of all places.
What show was that?
He lost the title to Undertaker and Kane on the 27th of September.
Oh, I remember that. They pinned them at the same time. They both laid on him.
Judgment Day.
And he beat The Rock at WrestleMania, and then he lost the title again to who other? Undertaker. So Taker's the man beaten on May 23rd, 1999 in Kansas City. and
Does
then
it take
he
a show
won,
like Bad Blood or
It
anything?
doesn't say on the thing
Okay.
I'm on. But and then he won the title from The Undertaker back in June of the same year, and then he lost the title to Mankind on the 22nd of August, and then he won the title from The Rock at the next WrestleMania, it looks like, and then he lost the title to Kurt Angle in September.
So many guys.
And then he won the title from Kurt Angle in October, a month later, and then he lost the title to Jericho for his final loss. His final passing of the title was
from
to
Jericho.
Jericho when he won both the WCW and the WWE title on the same night. And that
That's
was
cool.
Austin's last title run. He never had a title run after that.
But
Wow.
listen to the crop of guys you just mentioned. Look at all the guys who was dropping the belt to. Roman Reigns does not have that cast to drop the belt to right now. I would hate to.
He could. You're telling me that they couldn't build up Kevin Owens to be bigger than Kane was?
I think it's too
when he
late.
won it?
It's
You
too
couldn't
late.
build him up to be
At
you know
this
what I mean?
point, yeah.
It's too
We've been
late.
seeing him at a certain position for so long now. It's been so many years. We're not even talking a couple of months.
There's a
That's
couple
why you have
guys-
Conor
there's a
That's
couple
why you have
guys
Conor
they-
McGregor beat him. That's why you
Yes,
have something
bring Conor
stupid.
McGregor in.
You have
Have him knock
something
him out.
stupid. You have something stupid like that, and
Let's
then
do
you
it.
reset. And then you reset.
There's a couple guys that could have beat him, but obviously they didn't want him to drop it.
If he beats Hulk Hogan's record, I think it'll be just WrestleMania, and it'll either be, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, someone else signed from AEW because WWE can't build a star on their own, or Conor McGregor. Like again, it'll be someone that WWE didn't build, or they push Braun Breaker to the moon, and he's the guy. That's the only home-built star that I could see taking it from
There's a
them.
couple, there's
Otherwise,
a couple guys that's
boy.
coming up right now, but
I don't think any of them will be the
Who
one
are
to
the couple
dethrone
of guys
Roman.
coming
though.
up?
couple guys right now. I mean, if you look at NXT, there's a couple guys that.
Well, I'm
they're
asking, like,
building.
who are the big guys that you expect to
I don't think. I don't
be
think
the
there's
next
There's a
gonna.
couple
I don't
names
think.
I'm
coming
just
on.
curious. I'm curious.
If there is
serious.
anybody
Yeah.
that from NXT that stands a chance at dethroning Roman, it would probably be Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker.
That's it.
Only him.
Now,
That's it.
when you talk about guys that are coming up and can become potential stars, you got Trick, Carmelo, you got
No,
Oja.
that wasn't the question.
You know
That's
what I'm
not the
saying?
question.
Yeah, but y'all
What's the
saying they
home-
can't build
No, the
stars.
question
I'm
is-
just letting y'all
no,
know what
no,
it is.
No. My question was, who beats Roman that's a homegrown star? I say there is none. I say it's an AEW guy, being CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, or an MJF, or
Ooh,
Kenny
that
Omega
would
if
be
he can
nasty.
still wrestle,
Let's do
or
it.
it's going to be Braun Breaker,
Yeah,
or it's going to be a freak
I
show
don't see
fight
him
like
in the
Conor
WWE.
McGregor.
I see Braun Breaker taking it from him, though. Just like they did the passing of the torch when John Cena was stepping out and Roman Reigns took the reins from there. I think
be.
Braun Breaker is going to be that guy. Why else is he still in NXT? They want to keep him off of that main
Yeah.
roster to kind of get beat down from everybody. And when he comes up, I think they're just going to shoot him to the
problem.
moon.
Might as well make him a Brock Lesnar. Brock
That's what
Lesnar
you should
I
destroyed
think that's
everyone.
exactly what he'll
Brock
be.
Lesnar destroyed everyone for 6 months, and then he beat The Rock, and The Rock
Yeah.
passed the torch.
Yeah.
So
I
why
think
not?
that's what they're going to do for Braun. And then you're going to have Braun at the top as the new Roman Reigns. Underneath him,
But he can lose.
Who
But
do you
Braun
have?
can lose to people, right? Because it'll
is it safe to say Trick and Carmelo underneath Braun?
I don't know.
I think
don't know.
Carmelo's too small, personally. I don't think
You're just
Carmelo's still gonna be
assuming that.
successful.
I think you're going to see the same guys that are still on the top, and
those
he'll
guys are
lose
going to
to-
age out, though.
Seth Rollins is going to age out in 3 years, 2 years. No.
Seth Rollins is going to AEW in September.
Okay, great. You think Cody Rhodes is going to age out? You think
Cody Rhodes, yes. Cody
sorry,
Rhodes is going to Hollywood.
Sorry, the guys they're building. Do you think Ivar is going to age out?
Oh, not
You think-
Ivar. Ivar's going to be there for a
That's
while.
just, bro. Y'all tripping. But I'm gonna just let y'all rock, bro. 'cause if
Nah,
I
I
watched Raw.
bro,
I
Fair enough.
watched 2 weeks of Raw, and I've got a lot more Ivar on my TV than I've had CM Punk. So just tell me who they're building.
I just see the
Mr.
CM Punk
Dubbs,
is a
what do
special
you think
attraction.
about what do you think about Son of Viking, El Hijo de Viking or whatever? Great
Whoa,
star,
sound like
right?
you just went to another language, kiddo.
Yeah,
You
you
said
did.
Vikingo.
Son of Viking does the 360 outside.
I mean,
They
I
put
think
him on TV the whole time.
El Vikingo, the guy who works for AAA, who's not signed to AEW, he's a great star. He's a
think-
great.
Why is he on the TV
co-promotion
all the
star.
time?
It's the same reason WCW had New Japan guys.
Well, we're not
They had
talking about
Sting over
AEW.
in
Why are you talking about
Yeah.
AEW,
No.
kiddo?
They do cross promotion. WWE.
Yeah,
No, you
keep doing
guys
this
started
shit, bro.
AEW. That's why. That's why.
But he's not on Dynamite every week. He's on Rampage. He's on the show.
All right,
that-
hard
is
switch.
for wrestling.
Liv Morgan got locked
No.
up.
Morgan.
And apparently she's.
And I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you want to keep going? Let's keep it going, man.
I didn't.
was
But
trying to give you some relief.
I just didn't know that you'd
Whoa.
rather watch Ivar on TV every week rather than El Hijo Del
He has
Vikingo
better
have
psychology.
a match
He
of the
has-
year.
He
You'd
has-
rather see.
what?
You'd rather see
He just
one of the
does
matches of the
flips.
year.
Dot,
a
dot, dot, die. Randy
630
was
on the
right.
outside.
All those years ago, he was right. Yeah,
You'd rather
6:30.
watch
Listen,
Ivar.
bro.
You'd rather watch
Listen,
Ivar wrestle
bro.
a match than
They're
Vikingo.
That's
they're
what
you're telling
obviously they're obviously
So that's your
Absolutely.
they're
wrestling
obviously
taste.
two very different.
Sorry, that's your
products.
wrestling taste. I wouldn't rather watch Ivar watch
Oh, they got
wrestling rather
Lexus
than
King
I'd
in the
watch
chat.
King
Well, bro,
Hey,
let's
They got
I'd rather
Lexus
watch
King in the
King than
chat.
watch
Let's
Ivar.
just keep-
Ivar insults my intelligence a lot less. So
I just don't like how y'all saying that WWE can't build stars. If you look at NXT, they
can.
got people on their way, bro. It was just
Those
gonna be
are
a star.
stars.
It was just going
We
to
said
be a
that.
star.
We've said that for
Carmelo's
10
gonna
years,
be
but
a
it never
star.
translated.
Braun
It's
gonna
never
be a star.
translated.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah, I
hasn't
said
yet
Kevin Owens was
translated.
going to be a
Nah,
star.
but I think this
said,
is. But Kevin Owens
Zayn
was a star.
gonna be
They
a
put the
star.
strap
I said
on him.
Adrian Neville was going to be a
Put the
star. I said Bo
strap- he
Dallas was
made
going to be a
Kevin
star.
Owens main evented WrestleMania with Stone Cold 2 years ago, bro. Just because they not hot right now, don't mean that they dropped the ball on Buddy, bro.
That was a
he
please
had
stay
his
with us
time.
gift.
That's what you just. That was your whole argument for AEW.
Yeah,
that was
I
your
was gonna
whole
say.
entire argument against Wardlow
But-
and Keith Lee and everyone.
But
in
Bryan
AEW.
didn't say
That's
anything
exact
against
same
that.
argument.
Bryan didn't say anything against that.
That was your whole argument.
Yes,
That
and my
was
whole
your entire argument.
Yes, but my whole argument is, bro, we're talking about these guys almost like not at the end of their careers, but they already they put the strap on them. They did what they did with them. Now they're just not that hot right now. But the guys that went from WWE to AEW,
Are they not that hot?
Hold on.
Batista was
Hold
hot
on.
until he left.
Hold
Randy
on.
Orton is still hot. John Cena's stunt comes in and he's still hot.
I mean, yeah, they're still gonna be hot. They're
Why is
legends.
Kevin Owens cooled off? Why is Sami Zayn cooled off? What's going on? Why can't we keep everybody hot?
Yeah,
Kenny,
but
was the Rock ever not hot? Was the
The Rock
Undertaker
was
ever
never not hot.
Was the
Undertaker
Undertaker ever not hot?
y'all keep
never
going
not
back
hot.
to this
Even when he
attitude
went to
era,
Biker
bro.
Boys.
Get out of that time,
Nah,
bro.
this is ruthless
You
aggression.
old
I'm
head.
talking ruthless aggression
Y'all
right now.
old, bro. Stop. Get out that time,
Oh,
bro.
he's mad
Y'all
now.
old.
He's mad.
Yo,
Was
and
Bret Hart?
Kenny
Was
just gave
Bret
a
Hart
year
in
just now,
WWF
bro.
ever not
Man.
hot?
Bryan with the ageism.
Nah, listen.
Nah.
Listen though, because I'm not saying that AEW. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there's guys that jumped from WWE to AEW that could have been possibly stars in AEW, and they dropped the ball on them. You can't say the same with Kevin Owens. You can't like. What do you
Who
mean?
jumped from WWE to AEW that should have been a star?
I think Andrade. He could have been bigger than what he is right now, and they dropped the ball.
Andrade
Keith
has
Lee.
it's a language barrier issue.
Yeah,
That's
so-
what,
so-
exactly
so-
why he wasn't
so
a star in
put him in
WWE.
So put a manager
Exactly.
on him.
Yes,
Put a
Selena
manager on
Vega
him.
was.
WWE.
It was in NXT. It was great. Andrade was. I mean, you
But
got
Triple H is good at
you got?
managing the language barrier. I think it's a Vince thing.
Shinsuke. Yeah,
maybe.
Shinsuke's
He's doing good with Shinsuke.
I mean, right now
but
the
it's
thing
too
with
late.
Shinsuke is it's too late. They're trying to rehab him at 45 years
Yeah.
old. It's not going to
I
happen.
agree.
Yeah.
You understand the top star in WWE right now is 49, right?
Who's the top star?
Yeah, CM Punk, number one draw in the company, number one T-shirt seller.
Ooh,
49.
CM Punk is
not
49.
49. He's 45.
He's not 49. He's like
I was
46.
about
I
to say,
think.
whoa.
He's 45. He's not
You're
49.
45?
Yeah, he's like 45 or 46. He's
He looks,
not
Oh,
that-
same
he
as
looks-
LA
he
Knight.
looks like
He's
he's- he looks like
49.
he looks like he's 60 when he wrestles.
He
He's
sure
also-
does. He
He's
sure
also
does.
But
Should we
y'all
pull
got-
up the compilation of the buckshot lariat?
Oh, God.
Should we pull up that?
I mean, there's a lot of compilations when it comes to botching.
I already
in
seen it
AEW.
already. We're good, bro.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that all the companies dropped the ball on, bro. But y'all want to sit here talk about WWE can't do this, WWE can't do that. Like,
Yeah, he's 45.
Well, like for Kevin Owens, for sure. When he first came in, and they could have made him something. No.
They could have.
but even then though, bro, I think that they really tried with KO, bro. He gave John Cena a run for his money in his first match.
They-
They put the strap on him. I mean, I think
They just fed him to Goldberg. They gave him nothing.
Yeah,
Just
but
like they did
ruined
with
his
Dolph
match with
Ziggler.
Chris Jericho.
my thing with Goldberg was, bro, I don't even know why he came back.
Bray Wyatt. Do we got to keep going? Look what they did with Bray Wyatt.
The worm thing with Randy Orton, I'll never forget it. It was the saddest thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, bro, listen, he could have
Terrible.
been bigger, but y'all can't sit here and
you
tell
know
me
what?
that they didn't try.
Not only
something with
that,
him.
Look what they did with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins caught fire at one point, and they just completely poured the water all over him. Like, cool down, like just relax.
Yeah.
Which one are you talking about? You talking about during the Authority storyline?
When he was burning it,
Remember when he first came back?
coming out
When he
going
first came
crazy.
back?
From his
Yeah.
injury, yeah.
Yeah, he had like a crazy run up until that Bray Wyatt match, and they just deflated him.
I mean, the
And he
thing
never
with-
got that hot again.
The thing with Bray Wyatt though, after he feuded, like Bray Wyatt had like this thing going on where he would feud with wrestlers and they couldn't recover at some point. Like it was just like it just wasn't good for their career. It was weird. I don't
It was
know what
bad
happened there.
booking because it was
Yeah.
bad booking. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was bad. I don't know what was
At the
wrong with
same
Bray
time,
Wyatt, but-
some of the wrestlers are like, yeah, they're not all that. I think some of the wrestlers, we think they're so good, but WWE actually presented them in their best light. And it's just like they're just not all that. There's a case for that for some other wrestlers. Not all of
But
them.
I see Rapper
definitely
says in the chat they were supposed to make Bray Wyatt the next Undertaker, and I think that's absolutely what they should have done. If anybody was going to beat the streak, they should have gave it to Bray Wyatt.
I agree.
I mean, like y'all are saying, some of the wrestlers weren't that good. He was a great promo. Master promo, and his ring work was fine. If they wanted to make him go in the ring, do a few creepy moves, and get out of there and just keep getting wins up, they could have made him a big star like they did the Undertaker.
I think
it comes back to the
would have
fact
benefited Bray more if he won, if he beat the streak. Obviously, it just depends on how they would have booked him after the streak. We don't know what they could have done after.
They completely deflated him, and it comes back to the fact that again, they took risks. Now they just like, okay, we got our top star. Doesn't matter what happens, and they just bulldoze through everything. They don't care.
Yeah, and I think them switching over to the mindset of we're going to book this as WWE and not a big star, because I think Ryback said something like he was telling them, "I'm going to be your next John Cena," and they told him, "No, we're not going to have another John Cena. We're just booking this as WWE going forward," and that's what they're selling the brand on, but. I don't think it's going to work. It's not, you got to have stars because they're coming down here. I think sometime next year. I'm not going because what am I going to go to a house show for? There's nobody I want to see. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dubbs.
So Braun Breaker's 26. Carmelo Hayes is 29. We can all agree those are the two most promising prospects for WWE at the moment.
Yeah,
I don't follow it as much.
Carmelo.
Okay, so how old's Trick?
I don't know.
What's his name? I don't know
Trick
his name.
Williams
or something. He's
Williams.
Trick
Okay,
Williams.
so let's say those are the top three up and coming talent from WWE. I'm asking the guys who know more than I do. Honestly,
I don't know if Trick wouldn't be in top 3. I mean, he has the potential to be up there, but right now with his work that he's done on NXT, he's not top 3. If you're gonna put anybody in the top 3 that's had amazing matches and have a lot of potential, it's Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, and Ilja. Those are the top
now. Listen,
3.
I gotta say something towards
Ilja
that
Dragunov.
too. Nah, he's not going anywhere.
I think
I
think he'll be a top. I think he'll be where Gunther is at. That's his ceiling.
top 10. Okay, yeah, and that's top
That's
10.
the thing. Gunther is
This
a different subject. Like I don't know if everybody digs him.
This is my
Yeah.
point. Ilya Dragunov, 30 years old. Carmelo Hayes, 29 years old. Trick Williams, 29 years old. Braun Breaker, 26 years old. All have tons of time and lots of potential.
Right.
On the AEW side, you're looking at, well, you can't look at Kenny Omega. He's already 40. So you look at Will Ospreay, 30 years old. MJF, 27 years old. Swerve Strickland, 33 years old.
Whew.
It's looking just as bright.
Come on now,
for
you gotta throw
AEW.
Jack Perry in there. Y'all sleep on Jack. I'm telling you, he's gonna come along. He's
I'm
great
saying
in the
for me,
ring. He
I'm
just
gonna
got to
take
work
my
on the
top-
promo.
If I'm going to take my top 3,
Jack Michael.
I'm going to take Hangman's 32, Swerve's 33.
Oh, Hangman's another one.
Adam Cole's 34, but very injury prone. MJF is 27, and Will Ospreay's 30. You have
Come
a
on,
huge
look at these
young
guys.
crop of talent that's young. WWE has them too, but AEW, I feel like
Darby?
they're already becoming
Real Take
Darby-
Wrestling throws in Darby Allin.
I don't think Darby's going to be around in 5 years. I think he's
Sammy
literally killing
Guevara.
himself in the ring. I think he's going to kill himself in the ring. Like he's
Sammy Guevara.
Sammy's
Sammy
also
Guevara's a
similar.
star. Come on.
Sammy to me is hit and miss. I'm saying Will
He's
Ospreay,
hit and miss. He's still gotta
MJ
get it together.
I think Will Ospreay, MJF, Adam Cole, barring injuries, Swerve Strickland are all can't miss or already there. Or already
And I
there.
think
Right?
that them by themselves, they're fine. They don't need Kenny Omega. They don't need the Young Bucks because ever since Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks came in anyway, for whatever reason, they were trying to put everybody else over. Like everybody already knew who they were instead of
Which
getting
they shouldn't have
themselves
done. That
over.
was so
Right?
stupid.
Yeah.
That was
They're
so
not even
stupid.
the biggest stars right now. They hurt themselves by doing
They
that.
did. Adam Page is still only 32, and now
Yes.
he was the only one they really tried turning into a star. Now, I might not like him because of his stupidity backstage and not wanting to take advice from the wealth of information you have with a Mark Henry.
Hey, it's
You know,
millennial life.
You have Paul White, you have Jake the Snake Roberts for promos, for Christ's sake. Like, come on.
He doesn't need them. If he's not getting their advice right now and he's going out there cutting the promos he's cutting, I say don't get their advice and keep it going. Because he's killing
Right
it.
now, if
regardless, he's
PewDiePie
young.
jumped into this call, wouldn't you get advice from him?
No,
From
he got
PewDiePie,
in
just
trouble
the
and
sake of
canceled
it.
for too many stuff. I'm like,
All
bro,
right.
you keep getting canceled.
All
I don't know.
But I'm saying the crop of talent that we have that's up and coming on both sides looks promising. But AEW is going to have to, because they don't have a choice right now with all their injuries, everything that's off. You're going to have to push Swerve to the moon sooner rather than later. You have Joe take that title at World's End, MJF goes, gets surgery, whatever, rehabs, fixes himself, and you put that title on Strickland within a month. And you just shoot Swerve straight to the moon. There's no point in holding back now because Bryan Danielson is injured every match. He's literally killing himself in the ring every week. And I would love to see him have a reign with that title. But if he's going to stop full-time wrestling in 6 months, I mean, what are you going to do? Adam Cole, they've wanted to put that belt on him forever. He's 34. He keeps getting injured. He runs to the ring and he gets injured. He hasn't put on that size.
Punk style.
Right? I'm very worried about Adam Cole because he seems frail. It's hilarious. But there's like a handful of names I really am excited to see get big TV time because these NXT guys aren't going to have that same opportunity soon. Sure, Braun Breaker's going to get a chance to make a huge splash on the main roster, but there's not going to be a point where like 8 top talents are down and they need to push other people. AEW's got that opportunity right now, and Will Ospreay would get that spot, but he's locked into to New Japan for a few months. So I think
when he comes over, they'll definitely put him at the top.
Yes, but for now,
do you put him at the top over Swerve Strickland?
But what I'm saying is, regardless, you have to focus your TV around someone other than MJF as of January 1st.
And that's fine. They got guys to go with.
That's great. But this is what built The Rock. This is what built Triple H. This is what built Kurt Angle. Was when Steve Austin went out. Yep. Right now, you're gonna have MJF out. You're gonna have probably Bryan Danielson could get injured at any point again and be out. You've already got everybody else, Adam Cole and everybody else. They want to push us out. Young Bucks are out.
Drops that veteran. AEW picks them up and puts them over everybody on the main roster.
I mean, yeah, you've got Adam Copeland. I don't even think about him. That's how little I cared about.
I don't care about Adam Copeland. I don't think he's. I don't care about him at all.
I think he's still a draw to the casual.
He's not no draw no more, bro. You know, people want to see Edge. They don't want to see no goddamn Adam Copeland.
Adam Copeland is Edge.
They don't want to see that, bro. Nobody knows about it.
He's having a better story. He got a better story going right now than he had since he came back to wrestling.
Ryan?
Oh, you can't say that.
What storyline was better?
He can't say it. I'll agree with him there.
Ryan,
because
the
storyline was better, Brian.
Hold on. Dubs is talking.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream, Brian? What's your favorite kind of ice cream, Brian?
My favorite kind of ice cream, bro.
You like that vanilla ice cream?
I like
vanilla.
Cake batter, my boy. Cake batter.
Nah.
Perfect. So you like cake batter. He's one select view of the audience. There's always going to be wrestling fans that just like plain vanilla Haagen-Dazs ice cream. And those fans are going to love seeing Adam Cole and Christian wrestle on their TV because it's familiar to them. And they've, for whatever reason, maybe they also watch WWE or they haven't watched. So there's.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of the storyline
for that reason.
I'm a fan of the storyline. I like it.
Christian's doing the best.
Well, no, you just said WWE. He had some better storylines in WWE, so I'm still interested to see which one you were talking about.
He had some decent storylines. I don't know if they was better than this, but honestly, bro, you got to remember though, this Christian and Edge thing, like they go way back, bro. This was no matter what company had this feud, it was still gonna bang, in my opinion. I just think that AEW they got a lot more freedom, but
WWE would always refuse to have the feud.
This is the best work Christian's ever done in his career.
For sure,
most freedom he's ever been given.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad if you put the actual strap on Christian because he's done so well.
Whoa, it's kind of crazy though.
You know what I mean? You could have some sort of match where you put Adam Copeland in there and you have Christian in there in a 3-way against Joe or something, and Christian just gets the cheap roll up with the tights or something. I wouldn't care if you did that because you're gonna have to do some hot potatoing with this title to eventually get it to Swerve.
But WWE, they are their worst enemy though, because they wouldn't book Edge versus Christian, and they wouldn't book Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes at WrestleMania that year. Like they kept pushing back on it. And Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes went to AEW and had one of the best matches I ever seen.
Mm-hmm. So one of the best feuds. One of the best feuds,
best matches, just with Cody Rhodes holding up the card or whatever.
Refused to book Kenny Omega and CM Punk as well, and that would have been big.
Well, I mean, that's kind of. That's kind of
but I agree with Brian 100%.
Really?
What a boring match.
You have to make it happen. You have to make it happen.
That's the only con he had to make that happen. But
that was the money program. That was the money program.
But you got to think about it.
I would have watched that
if you were
all
at work,
day, every day.
If you were at work and you had somebody you didn't like in there, and you two were fighting and already got in a fight, would you want your boss to put you two in the room to work together?
Vince McMahon would have put them in that room and told them, "Make me some goddamn money."
Vince McMahon was sexually harassing women. So we're not going to talk about what Vince McMahon would do.
What does that have to do with
Vicious.
We're not going to do what Vince McMahon would do.
Wait.
Sid Vicious stabbed Arn Anderson, and then they wrestled a couple months later.
Vince
literally
McMahon paid
shivved
off
Arn Anderson. He
Jake.
got
What
shivved
was
by
his name?
Sid and wrestled with him. These
Superfly
guys just
Jimmy
had a little
Snuka
brawl.
allegedly killed somebody, and Vince McMahon helped him cover it up.
That's
So are we
allegedly.
talking about what Vince McMahon? I said allegedly. I said allegedly.
That ain't my business. Yeah,
allegedly,
don't get me sued here, buddy.
But still,
Yeah.
you're talking about what Vince McMahon would have done. I don't think we would want to do.
I'm
what
not
Vince
saying
McMahon
what Vince McMahon would do.
No, Bryan
I'm saying
said
what wrestling was.
But Vince
what it
McMahon
was.
did it all the
It didn't
time,
matter.
though.
Vince McMahon was comfortable making people uncomfortable.
I'm not talking about. I'm not talking
don't
about.
agree
The,
with that.
yes, I'm not
Did
talking
he
about.
make out with Stephanie on something, or was he going to have a storyline
What?
where he made out with
I
his own
think they
daughter?
said he wanted to, and
He
somebody
wanted to have a
told him no.
storyline where he was going to do
I
it.
want
with
it,
stuff with-
goddammit.
Vince was crazy.
Oh, man. Yeah.
No, but let's
Come here
hold
right
on.
now, Stephanie.
He made out with Trish in front of Linda. Like,
Listen,
you know what I mean? He booked
Yeah.
himself to do
Yeah,
that.
but-
It's TV.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
you
we're not-
booked the TV.
I'm not gonna be honest, bro. I'm gonna be honest, bro. The thing that y'all not understand.
No,
not
you're
I
right.
get
You're
it,
not
bro.
going to be honest.
I get it, bro. Listen, he did some crazy stuff in his past, some stuff that obviously, wasn't good.
We don't have to talk about
But-
Vince. Like any good
Yeah.
booker would do what you
That's
guys are saying.
That's what I'm saying, bro. If you
Nah,
want to make money, I
don't
don't
say
care how
Vince.
mad y'all is at each
That's
other.
the whole idea
go
of the
and work.
wrestling business.
I gotta listen to the chat here. I gotta get on Matt's side here. Matt is saying to us, back on topic. Geez, guys.
Who said it? Matt Batten?
Chat is telling us to
What up, Jay Barnacles in the chat?
put the argument aside and get back on topic.
I'm just letting y'all know, bro. Because
Shout out to Matt Batten. Shout out to Rapper.
You say one good thing about
Everybody in
WWE
the
and
chat,
Kenny go
Rapper.
around bringing up all the bad stuff.
What do you mean? I love WWE. Why are you saying I don't like WWE? You
I
crazy?
love WWF.
Listen, my whole point with it was, bro. My whole point with it was Tony Khan. You got to do what you got to do for that money, bro. That was the money program. You ain't make it happen.
Because he didn't need it. Listen, you put people in an uncomfortable work environment or you make money. You
It
know
was
what?
already
I think he
uncomfortable
made,
to begin
I
with.
think he made
What?
the morally sound decision.
It was already
his
uncomfortable, so you
company.
might as well just
You
make
You know
it
what?
happen.
If I was the boss, I would be like, hey, worker,
he
you know
tried his-
what? I appreciate you doing this for me because you putting your body
Kenny,
on the line every
Kenny,
night.
he tried
You
his
want to
best
go in
to
here
play
and work with
peacemaker.
this young man?
Hold on, Kenny.
No, all right, you don't
He's
have
not
to.
doing it for free. What?
Yeah, Kenny.
Exactly.
He is
not-
paying
he's not
him.
you're having a
So
chance.
listen, you do what I do.
All of that money. How
Yo,
strong
Kenny,
is your passion
Kenny,
to be
you're not
against?
supposed to like everything that goes down at your job, bro. Yo, Kenny, I'm gonna turn off the
Oh,
cameras
I'm gonna like
real quick.
everything.
Because I know you just doing this for the show right now, bro.
No,
You're not
I'm
supposed to-
being 100% serious with y'all.
bro. You're not supposed to
If
like
I was a
everything that
boss
goes
and I
down
had
at your
workers,
job,
I
though.
would not make them mingle with each other if they had problems like that. Because if something happens in that ring, who gets sued?
Even if you're gonna make millions of dollars.
Even
See,
if
this
I'm
is
going to
the
make
thing.
millions of dollars, it's not worth it.
Tony Khan doesn't have a history in the wrestling business. He's never been a booker. He's trying to be everybody's friend, and he tried playing Peacemaker.
That's
honorable. That's honorable. He wanted to play Peacemaker. He literally gave Punk his own show, his own split roster, and tried splitting them up as much as possible. And then the second they were in the same locker room together, it's blew up and it's all over. The second they ended up being in the same locker room. It's not Tony Khan's fault that that match didn't happen.
Right.
But
It's not.
you're doing all in though. But you're doing all in. The biggest show with 80,000 people. It should have been Punk and Kenny.
Facts.
It should have. And Kenny was the one who said, "If I have to,
I'm
I'll do
open,
business.
yeah.
I'm open to wrestle him." It was the Bucks that didn't want to. So they could have made that happen, and they should have. And Omega before
Omega
all
would have
in,
killed him.
Omega made the hints though that you might even see me on Collision. You might even they made references that maybe just at the very beginning that they dropped little hints that maybe it would happen, and it didn't.
So it would have
I think it's
happened.
sad.
It would have happened. It
But
100%
Jack
would have
make that
happened.
joke
But what
about some real
happened?
glass.
CM Punk went out there and made a damn fool out of himself
No, I think he
over
wrestled
some
the
Cry
match.
Me a River.
He actually-
Because somebody said
Nah,
Cry Me a River.
that was
He
actually
couldn't
one of the
control
best.
his
That
temper.
was actually one of the best matches of the night, by the way. The Samoa Joe and
And
Punk
he-
match.
And he still wrestled it. And he
And
still
he got
was
injured, didn't he?
He was
did not get
professional
injured.
enough to wrestle.
Nah,
he was
he did not
professional.
get
He didn't.
injured.
I think he got injured in that
No, he
match,
did
didn't
not
he? That's
get
why he was
injured.
gone for
That's
so
the
long.
whole
Yeah.
idea of the
He was-
wrestling business falls apart with your argument, Kenny.
He was
I can't.
professional enough.
What do you
to
mean?
have
What,
the match.
what do you mean? The fact that I said don't put two people in there who don't like each other in the ring together if you don't have to?
If it's gonna make you money, I mean, bro. And let's be honest, they
Oh, if
kinda-
they go in there-
everything. Listen, everything that
And CM
AEW.
Punk shoots on him because Kenny Omega hit him too hard.
That used to happen all the
What?
time in the business. That's always happened.
It's
And then
a
you'd have to
different
shoot.
day.
And
It's
then
a
the second
different
they
day.
come backstage, remember what Undertaker said if Shawn Michaels wasn't going to put
Yeah.
over Austin at WrestleMania? He was lacing up his fists to beat the shit out of Shawn Michaels as soon as he got backstage if he didn't do business at WrestleMania 14.
And do you remember what happened with the cat?
That's what wrestling was. This is what
you remember what
wrestling
happened with the cat at that pay-per-view? She pulled her boobs out. That's
That
what
was a
wrestling
different
was.
pay-per-view.
You're
That was a
not
different
gonna. No,
pay-per-view.
I'm not saying at the same pay-per-view, but
Okay.
that's what happened back then in wrestling. It's a different day. You will never see that happen today because those things that were going on back then weren't right. So they're not gonna happen again.
What do you mean? How do you explain Young Bucks doing the victory lap then? That was also like very
I
unprofessional.
never noticed that. That's internal. That's like us doing. I never noticed it. I swear. And y'all said CM Punk did the victory
Dude.
lap. I was like, what is the victory lap? And
Not
I had to go
CM
look
Punk,
up
but
all of
Young
that stuff to
Bucks.
figure out what happened.
Literally on live TV, they would mock Kenny Omega, not Kenny Omega, but CM Punk
that's the
biting
difference
them.
in generations. It's just their children.
But CM Punk came out in front of the crowd and said, Hangman Page is not selling any shirts. His shirts were all piled up on the table.
I
in
think
front of
that
the
doesn't
fans
make
who were
CM
supposed to be
Punk right,
buying
but-
Hangman shirts.
CM
that
Punk
was
was
okay?
very.
I mean, he
CM
wasn't selling
Punk
those
was
shirts.
CM Punk was allowed to
That
be
doesn't make
unprofessional
Hangman an
on
innocent.
AEW TV. I think CM Punk was just as much being a child because he saw them get away with it. So he says, fine, I'll give you your receipt on live television too.
There you go.
I don't think CM Punk was out for 3 months before he did that BS promo about Hangman, so calling him out, saying that's coward shit. That was super unprofessional because it was referencing something that none of the fans knew about. It was never
Again,
talked about
yeah.
in the dirt sheets. No one mentioned it until CM Punk came out and did it himself. That was incredibly unprofessional. He harbored that resentment for months, didn't say anything, didn't bring it up and like a man in the back and go and talk to the boys before cutting that promo. You know what I mean? He said, well, you got something to say. My locker room door is open. But he
Exactly.
didn't do that. He didn't do that before he came out for that promo. So I 100% fault Punk for being unprofessional.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying,
in
yo,
that
and I'm
situation.
not saying Punk was
The
like
press
didn't have no
Conference,
faults.
it was all of his fault.
It wasn't all
I don't
his
put
fault.
all of it on. I
It
don't
was
put
all
of
his
it on.
fault.
Because if
Put it all
Hangman
on him.
Page didn't shoot
I'm
him,
gonna
none of
lie.
If he
this
didn't
would
go out
ever
there to the
happen.
public saying that stuff at the press conference, everything would have stayed backstage.
I don't
I'm
believe
gonna
that.
lie right now.
We
Tony,
didn't know about
just-
the Hangman Page thing until CM Punk made it public.
True.
Nobody knew what that promo was.
My-
When CM Punk
my-
said it, everybody had to go back like, let's listen to the promo and see what he said.
Yeah,
Because we didn't know.
Well,
I mean-
CM Punk tried to handle it backstage, and Hangman Page just wanted nothing to do with him.
Okay, that's
So
fine.
He was
Hey,
being
I'll
a
work
bitch.
with you in the
Being
ring.
like a little bitch. He
Nah,
wanted to
I'll
get
work
past
with you
it.
in the ring. I don't need you in my face right now.
I mean,
He's
bro.
still
we
mad over
can't-
Cole Cabana.
We're not. I mean, one thing is we're not going to sit here and blame Punk for the whole situation. If Hangman Page
Nah,
didn't
come
go
on.
into business for himself, no matter what we didn't know, like
Listen,
obviously it
None
it
of
struck
us
a
were
nerve.
backstage when the promo was written. We don't know how the segment was laid out. There could have been bullet points. They said hit these bullet points.
CM
Hangman
Punk
could have
did
went
make a
out there
clear
and hit every bullet point, but cut his promo in that process. So
Is
how did
Hangman
he?
3
How did
years
he
old? How
cut
does
the
he
story?
differentiate?
You don't know that though.
CM Punk made
But
a
you
very
don't know he
clear
went off
point.
script. You don't know how the promos were
He
cut.
had
Or
to
you don't
go
know how
off.
this
He,
was all set
he
up.
had to go off strict the way that Punk acted, bro. There's no other way to go about it.
Punk
But
act like a
CM
hoe.
CM Punk made a
He
clear
is
point.
such.
Into CM Punk's defense, but not the promo shit, but going into that match, what he said is, this guy is going to be this unprofessional on live television and pull this shit, and I'm supposed to trust him with my body that he's not going to go into business for himself when I'm in a match with him.
I get
I'm
that,
supposed
too.
to accept and have a match with him. He made that point, and that's a valid point. If Hangman's pulling this shit and I have to trust him with my body, what am I going to
Hangman
have
put
to
him
put him in a
over.
fucking
Great
chokehold?
point by
No.
Real Take Wrestling. Hangman went out there and put him over. He
You
could
think
have
he did
refused
that
to
by
do the
choice?
match.
Yeah, and then CM
He could
Punk
have
would've
refused to
choked
do
him
the
out.
match or whatever.
Right,
Apparently,
and
how
he
y'all
got
say they
fine.
go off
Right.
script.
That's what I'm saying. CM Punk said, "Why am I supposed to trust getting in the ring with this guy?"
So now listen. So
I'm
we talk
saying-
about going off script here and how unprofessional it is. What was CM Punk's crowning moment?
Where in AEW?
No, period. Like what made him? Boom! Everybody's talking about CM Punk.
The scripted
I
pipe
would-
bomb promo.
For me,
the pipe bomb, and that was supposed to be like unscripted, wasn't
for
it?
For me, CM
It wasn't
Punk became,
unscripted.
CM Punk was a star when he came on, when he was doing the Straight Edge Societies, where he broke out. That's where he first broke out.
He wasn't a
And then
sar
when he
back
was-
then. That's why he was
became-
crying.
me,
and
with
mad.
this-
That was part of his
for me-
journey. That was part of his journey, sir. That was
Yeah.
part of the journey.
That was
brought
part
him
of his
there.
journey that led
And
him to
same
the
thing-
point of the
and
pipe
when he-
bomb. The
when he had the
unscripted
That's
pipe
not.
bomb.
jacket?
That's not what made him.
No.
That's not what made
When
him.
he had
Punk,
the
though.
when he had
The
the
pipe bomb
announcer's
made him
jacket.
Punk.
When
To
he had
me-
the announcer's jacket.
At least
he
in
was doing the
WWE
Raws
made him
every
Punk.
week.
Because if he was the CM Punk y'all said he is
What?
right now, he would have been in the main event at WrestleMania back then, and he is never good enough for that.
They gave Punk Punk. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he should have been in the main event, bro. But they literally gave
He
him.
shouldn't have been in
all
the main
types of
event
cool
because he
matches.
wasn't that good.
Yes,
Yes,
he
he
was.
was.
What are you talking
Punk
about?
wasn't better than Randy Orton back
Oh,
then.
guys, Jungle
he
Boy
was.
was
He was
better.
hotter.
Jungle
He was
Boy
hotter
was
than
better,
Orton.
obviously.
He was
CM
hotter
Punk
than
was not
Orton.
even 3. I don't even know if I
He
would
was
give him
hotter
that.
than Orton.
CM Punk wasn't hotter than
He
Batista.
was hotter than
What?
yeah.
All of
After
them.
the
He was
pipe bomb,
hotter than
sure he
all
was.
of them.
Oh,
After
bro.
the pipe
all
bomb,
of
yeah,
them.
sure he was.
You were
After
not
the pipe
watching,
bomb,
Kenny?
sure.
Yo,
Oh,
bro.
I was watching
Punk-
every week, tapped in,
Yeah, sure.
tuning out
saying
for his
he's-
segments.
He was the reason I started watching it again. I didn't want to watch Batista or Orton or any of that garbage. It was when CM Punk was he was on commentary. He was in the commentary jacket. He started doing stuff with the new
My
Nexus.
soda.
Did
They
all
spilled
those
my soda. Terrible at
everything
commentary.
else. He was amazing. He was comedy. He's
Listen.
what made me watch.
He was
He
bad.
was what made
He
me
was
watch.
not
So
good.
good.
game.
Punk
He
to
was
me.
not good.
Listen, Punk to
That's
me.
such a badass.
Punk
He
to
was
me.
standing up in that ring trying to spar with Triple
No,
H.
listen,
What are you
listen.
And
doing? Get out of here.
Triple H was the one who was unprofessional because CM Punk was supposed to have a feud and a match with Kevin Nash. That was the whole deal why Kevin Nash cost him.
Yeah.
They were supposed to have a match. CM Punk was cutting promos and he was pissing off Triple H backstage. Then Triple H said, the reason the Kevin Nash match never happened, Kevin Nash said this on his podcast. Triple H stepped in and said, no, man, I just got to beat this guy. I have to bury him in the middle of the summer of CM Punk. Mr.
Because Kevin Nash
Unprofessional,
was mad.
Mr. Shovels, Triple H that everybody touts is so
Ooh,
great.
you know
He
what?
said,
I'd love to hear it.
I have to bury him. I have to put him down. I have to put him in his place.
I hope Triple H has that same energy today. I hope he just
Kevin
brought him
Nash-
back to bury.
Kevin Nash said this
Listen.
on his podcast. That's why
Listen.
Kevin Nash isn't sure what they're going to do.
But
with him, because he's-
Kevin Nash was mad at CM Punk for cutting promos about his knee or whatever.
CM Punk.
Yeah, so
CM
so Triple H said, "Screw this whole program we've been building from the last pay-per-view to the last 3 weeks. No, I'm just going to insert
And you know
myself
what?
here, and
Bravo,
I'm gonna
Triple
beat him.
H.
I'm
That's
just gonna beat
wrestling.
him and put him down.
That's
That's what
wrestling.
WWE
Punk-
did
listen,
when they had
though.
the hottest
Listen,
star
though.
in wrestling.
Listen,
Mr.
He was the
Dubbs,
hottest
you
star in
saying Triple
wrestling.
H made that
And they
decision?
put-
That's what you're
they
saying.
poured ice
So hold on,
water
Mr.
him.
Dubbs. Wait a minute. Wait. You're saying Triple H made that decision
Yeah.
to step in? But if Vince
step in and
McMahon is
bury
the
him.
man and he's calling the matches that should happen, how could Triple H make that decision?
Well, how come Bret Hart got screwed in the Survivor Series screw job? How come
No.
that happened?
We're talking about
Because
Triple H and Bret Hart.
yeah,
We're talking about Triple H and
Shawn
CM
Michaels are in
Punk
his
right
ear.
now.
Triple H
We're
has
talking
been
about
in
Triple H
Vince's
and
ear.
Shawn Michaels or
Triple H has been in Vince's
CM
ear
Punk.
since '97. Triple H was Vince's
But
boy.
Vince McMahon is the man who's making these decisions, no matter
And
who's in
Triple
his
H-
ear.
and Triple
And
So
H
why
was
isn't
the-
it okay?
Triple
So
H
why isn't it okay
Triple
if the
H
Young
buried-
Bucks are in Tony Khan's ear?
Why did
Because
the
Big
Young
Papa-
Bucks
ain't Triple
why did
H.
Big Papa- How come Scott Steiner?
Yeah,
didn't
because
get
Triple H
over?
wasn't an
How come
EVP.
Goldberg-
The Young
how
Bucks
come
are.
Goldberg-
So you're right.
Why did Goldberg and Steiner get buried? Because Triple H told Vince to bury them. Why
No.
did Sting
If they got
lose at
buried, it was because
WrestleMania?
Vince McMahon wanted to do that.
Who did Sting lose to at WrestleMania in his big match that should have been The Undertaker?
Who was booking the show?
Who's his son-in-law who's booking the show now? You don't
But
think he
who
had
was
any
booking
power?
the show?
or
I don't care.
influence?
I don't care if
Bro. Come on.
whoever was his son.
Come
Who
on.
was booking the show? Tony Khan's booking the show, and y'all give him that, but y'all are making all of these excuses for Vince
Nobody's
McMahon.
making excuses for
Vince
Vince
is the
McMahon.
big
Though we're just
dog,
letting
and
you know
he's
what it
booking
is.
the show. Triple H can't make any decisions.
Triple H gets to make all the decisions he wants.
Nothing
Vince
is
do
Triple
this, Vince
H's
do that.
decision.
Okay.
Vince is booking
Vince
the
McMahon
show.
is to blame for that, bro. It is not
Vince
Triple H.
McMahon is to blame.
He has
You
the
can't
final
blame
say.
Triple H.
Triple H
He has the final
buried
say.
so many wrestlers. He had the shovel.
It doesn't
the golden
matter.
shovel.
Vince McMahon has the final
H is
say.
the biggest
Triple H
reason why I
never had
stopped-
the shovel because Triple H
Triple-
never had the pencil.
Triple H was the number one reason I stopped watching wrestling for 6 years.
That's your
Because he
personal
buried-
decision.
Because he buried
Triple H
every
was one of the
wrestler I
reasons
cared
I
about.
kept watching wrestling.
But
He
even if
buried
Triple
all
H,
my favorite wrestlers, and then I
Even
just
if-
I
said,
love
no
them
more
for
of
it.
this product. No more of this.
Jump up
product.
and kick him in the face, hit him in the face with the knee.
well,
Triple
listen,
H.
even though let's say Triple H even pitched it to Vince McMahon that I want to bury this guy, it's still Vince. He has the final say. It's his fault.
That's a fact. Vince has the pencil.
Sure. And when someone's in his ear, like a Shawn Michaels, push
It
Brett out of
doesn't
the
matter
company.
who's in
We
his
can't
ear.
afford this contract. Get him out of here. Oh, he doesn't want to drop the belt. Screw him then. Let's do this. Screw him.
Okay,
All
they're
the
making
biggest
sense to
issues
him.
in wrestling are because of Triple H and because of Shawn Michaels getting in their ear.
Yeah.
I hate
It-
Triple H.
it's
I've
still-
always hated Triple H for it.
Yeah,
That's
so
why
you're
I'm not
coming from a
fan.
biased
Everybody
place. You're
says-
coming from a biased note or
because
from a biased
they
place.
buried all my favorite. Everyone who had a chance of becoming a big star, like RVD.
Whoa, hold
every
on.
fan, way before CM Punk,
Yeah,
RVD
Matt,
was
we
getting
like that.
fans.
We like
What
that. Matt.
happened
He's
to
getting
CJ
fans
Perry?
all over
Oh, she has
the
an
world.
infection in her finger. She's going into surgery tomorrow, but a bad infection, like her whole middle
She
finger.
could lose her hand.
I
Oh
hope
Jesus
not.
Christ! What happened?
What's
happened?
going
CJ
on?
Perry?
I don't know.
What
But
happened to her?
Yo,
But
Matt,
I-
you said I'm embarrassing myself, bro. We in here chilling, bro. We
think
all
we got-
homies.
we got-
we just
we got,
chilling. we talk. We chilling here and talk afterwards, yo. We just chilling.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna
We just
fight
doing
after
it
this in real
Hey,
life.
Kenny
You're
and
right,
I-
man.
Kenny
It was
and I are
embarrassing
the
yourself.
AEW
This is the
defenders.
last episode of Off the Top, y'all. I can't take any more of this.
I don't know.
But y'all, we really didn't touch like any of the topics tonight.
Yeah,
Let-
we're like
Okay,
one
we had
topic.
a
in.
better conversation. We had a better
We have one
conversation.
topic in, yeah. All right, well, let's talk about one thing. Let's say, so they said Roman Reigns is retiring after WrestleMania
alright.
this year.
Sure.
What do
I
y'all
hope
think
so.
about that? How true is this story?
That is not happening.
No, that's not happening.
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
Do you
Didn't-
not think he will go Hollywood like The Rock did back in
You
the
know
day?
what?
I
It's
feel like
possible.
he might do a similar thing
Roman's
where
not going Hollywood no time soon.
So-
It's gonna happen. It's not
So you think it's
happening.
possible, Kero?
I think so. It's definitely possible. Like we'll see him just like The Rock, kind of phase himself out, come back for a year, do another run, and then boom, full on Hollywood, and we barely ever see him. He comes in every once in a while.
Yeah.
High five.
Go ahead, Dubs.
I believe there was a certain top star that had been on top for a very long time who left the WWF at the time in 1993 to go pursue a career in film and television, and then showed up on WCW. Mister, give it to me, brother.
Hogan?
The 24-inch
Come on, bro.
pounds.
There's
Oh,
absolutely no
bring
way.
Roman Reigns. to
There's no way
AEW,
Roman Reigns
brother.
shows up at AEW.
AEW bound. Yes.
Yeah,
Do y'all
that's
know
not gonna
how
happen,
crazy
bro.
that would be?
If Roman Reigns
gonna
shows
That
turn
would be
face.
that would be groundbreaking, an earth-shattering moment in
But
wrestling.
Roman does not want to work with children, bro. He wants to
Listen,
work
if
with
Tony
professionals.
Khan gives him 50
Here we go again.
million, if
Yeah.
Tony Khan gives him 50
A year.
million, that's like $50
A
for
year.
Tony
Tony Khan's
Khan.
a
Like,
terrible
here you go.
booker. He don't want to work with him.
He doesn't get you. Okay, if someone offers you $50 million to only work 52 dates a year, when you're getting paid $3 million to work 150, you don't care what they tell you to do. You'll go dress up.
Exactly.
And you'll go put a dress on every day for
Yeah.
52 weeks a year.
He said,
Like,
Roman,
I
your
don't know
gimmick is
about that, but all right.
match, you go sweep the
That's the story.
ring. All right, 50 million, I'll do it.
It doesn't matter. It's $50 million.
It doesn't
No,
matter.
Roman's
$50
a
million.
company guy,
He'll be
man.
Santino. He'll happily be Santino Marella for a year if that's.
I
What,
thought
you know,
Edge was
if
a
that's what
company
you want
guy.
to do with me. Edge was a company guy. Jericho was a company guy.
Yeah, but he held the title for 3 years. He's gonna leave WWE for AEW.
Hulk
Why
Hogan.
not?
Remember the
The
reigns
money
that-
talks.
I could see
Wait,
Seth
wait.
leaving and Drew. Yeah,
But who's
Roman? Nah.
Whose reign are we waiting on Roman to beat? Whose was it? What was his name? Hulk
When the
Hogan.
cold
And I'm gonna be honest.
He left WWF for a movie career and then popped up on the competition and then built the whole Monday Night Wars was all because of Mr. Hollywood Hogan.
I
So-
honestly think that everybody
Roman
like,
Reigns leaving would do the same thing.
I honestly think everybody talking about this Hulk Hogan record, it's like that shit don't do anything, bro. Yeah, he's number 2, not
It
number
does.
1.
It's their record books. WWE is big on numbers.
Yeah, but he's number 2.
They
He's not
they
number
like
1.
to say of all time.
So
They
he's
love
the
that.
Don't worry
second. So he's the second longest reigning champion of all time.
Don't worry
That's
about
fine.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
think it's
they love
Yeah.
they
That's
love those
not-
numbers.
I mean,
Hey, I have a question for you guys. How old was Hulk Hogan when he left in '93?
was he like
45.
50? He was
Like-
old my whole life.
No, he was
40.
He was 40 years old when he left the WWF the
What?
first time. 40.
How old and
He's-
what year?
He was born in 53. He left in 93. Roman Reigns is 30.
yeah.
Roman Reigns is 38. He'll be 39 right. He'll be turning 39 right after WrestleMania. The ages link up here almost exactly for when Hogan left after his tremendous reign in WWF. That if this happens, he still would have the same longevity you would think that Hogan had in WCW, no problem.
Now AEW is looking bad right now, but 2 years ago they were hype. 2 years later, who knows? They might be hype again, and
Good.
we might be
Roman
talking
Reigns-
about
it's,
this.
It's,
later.
it's what it is. Wrestling fans are fickle. It's going to go up and down.
Can
$50
they fire
million?
the Young Bucks?
hopefully
Why
the
not?
fans are not
Why
2 years
not?
too late, my boy, because that WB is not looking good.
Oh, that's
I'm
talking
saying-
about that deal. Oh,
I'm
here we
saying
go.
if you bring Roman
I
Reigns
think
in,
they need
that
to
is-
restructure.
that's
Everybody's
your
saying
deal. That's your new deal.
they're
right
going to
there.
lose their deal with WB. I mean, if they don't sign with Warner Brothers again, they could get a deal with another company and restructure because we don't need Collision on Saturday.
I
We
agree.
don't need Rampage
yeah.
on Friday. It's time to
100%.
restructure everything, get everything back in
focus.
line.
I honestly want them to leave TNT. Just so
Yeah, I
Collision
wouldn't
can.
mind if they left. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Mm.
Collision on Saturdays is a terrible time slot.
You know what? If Raw is willing to, if WWE is willing to move Raw from Mondays,
That ain't happening.
AEW should be willing to move Dynamite from Wednesday. They need to go Tuesday and Thursday, Dynamite and Collision.
That's
Let
exactly
them go to
how it should be.
FX. AEW on FX.
And then NXT
Yeah,
goes
do
to,
it.
and then NXT goes to Wednesday.
Oh, we don't care about NXT. That's like wrestling school.
So-
we don't
Come
worry
on,
about that.
So how much do you think? Because the WBD deal comes up in 2025. Say Roman takes some time off from WWE. That
Well, next
deal's
year.
coming up. It doesn't come up 2024. It's 2025.
For which deal?
I think it's next year.
AEW deal. I thought it was 2025.
Okay.
Regardless, when that deal comes up, if Roman's contract really is up and he doesn't resign, Roman, if you're worried that Punk is going to maybe get Raw to go over to WBD, what would sway them more than a CM Punk and get that increase?
The contract's gonna be signed
The
though by then.
increase before Roman's deal's up. No.
Probably, yeah.
I think
they're
Roman might. They're
thinking
gonna
about-
lock Roman in.
we
There's no way they let his contract run. Even if he's not wrestling, they'll say we're gonna lock you into one match per year. Just give us like 5-10 years.
If he's
They're not
smart,
letting that go.
If he's smart,
Yeah,
he waits
I
out his
agree.
contract. If he's smart, he waits out his contract and he gets
Yeah,
more
he
money.
may wait it up, but they're not
regardless,
gonna
he'll
let
get
it
more
run
money
out.
from.
Yeah.
But he'll get more money.
Yeah,
from
they
WWE.
literally have to. Yeah.
AEW's deal is up
and
December
yeah,
of
and
2024. I was waiting on Omar. I knew
Y'all
he
gotta
had the fact.
understand. Y'all gotta
You
understand.
guys know
that-
they have new owners, right? You understand that TKO owns them.
Oh,
the
you're
same
right.
Company,
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
company that let go their heavyweight
Yeah,
champion.
you're right, you're
well,
right.
he was still champion. The biggest heavyweight name in the world.
Yeah, you're
Was
right.
supposed to fight John Jones, Francis Ngannou, and John Jones, the biggest heavyweight fight in UFC history. Is bye-bye Ngannou, go over to boxing and go fight for the PFL and whatever else. They
There's
let
some
him
shady
go.
stuff going on. There's shady stuff going
But
on.
I'm saying TKO is the ones who own WWE now. So you can't say, oh, it's guaranteed Roman's going
You're
to
right. You're absolutely right.
He's smart to wait out his contract because
Yeah.
he could easily
regardless.
Y'all
go
gotta,
and get
yo,
signed.
what y'all not understanding is, bro, they already signed the deals. The signings happen like a year or some change before, bro. Like that deal is gonna be done,
They
even
used
if
to.
they do get
You're right.
Roman.
You're right.
They already did it for
you're right. They
SmackDown.
used-
SmackDown is already signed. They're going elsewhere. That's just how it's. Not SmackDown.
Oh, you're
I
talking
think
about the
NXT.
TV deals. You're talking about the
NXT.
TV
You're
deals.
talking about TV. We're talking about
Yeah.
wrestler deals.
I was
No,
talking
I'm talking
But
about
you
no,
have to think
I'm
about that
talking
though.
about
Dubs makes a good point because Endeavor, they don't pay their fighters. Like the MMA fighters,
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't get paid. So Endeavor could look at those WWE contracts and be like, well, what are we doing here?
Wait,
It's too
everything
expensive.
could be
AEW is going to offer him
Let's
20
cut it
million.
down.
We're not giving him 20 million. Why
I
would
won't
we
be
give him
surprised
20
if once
million?
those contracts come up, they start knocking them down. Like you're not making $2 million a year.
Yeah.
We'll give
And
you
then
$500,000.
then
Come and Tony's eyes open more and more.
Then
Yeah.
everybody better pray AEW still has television at that point to sign those boys.
Yeah, because y'all don't know, right? Vince does not own WWE anymore, and this is the first time it's been this
Yeah,
way.
we'll
Things
see.
could change at
That's
any
also
moment.
a thing. Roman
And
Reigns is
TK
a Vince guy, not a Triple H guy.
TKO might be trying very hard to take over AEW's channel to get rid of their TV deal so that they don't have to pay their talent nearly as much because there's no more competition.
Right.
They could drop everyone's salaries by half. And what are they going to do if AEW doesn't exist anymore? They can't do that with AEW around. So
Very
maybe they're
good
just going
point.
to try and get rid of them.
It could get kind of spooky. We'll see how it
Yeah,
goes when these
yeah, we
contracts
need-
come up once everything is kind of locked in and settled with Endeavor. But again, they do not pay those UFC fighters, so we'll see.
They don't pay him a lot, yeah.
They
That's
don't
for
pay him a
sure.
lot at all. They always complain about it and say they kind of live fight to fight. So it's not good.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's what
Roman.
I'm
Maybe they
saying.
offer Roman like a low ball contract. How much is he making right now? Do we know?
I don't even know.
It doesn't matter.
Probably
AEW,
3-5 million.
I could
If
see
he's making
AEW
$5 million and they try to cut him to $2.5 million, and
Probably
AEW
more
says
than
we'll
that.
pay you $5 million, will he go?
AEW would say, oh, we'll pay you 10 million because we need to make sure we sign this TV deal. We'll give you 20 because we're going to get a re-up of over 100 million what we're getting.
Well, they're
you can
gonna
have
have to
20%
go.
of that.
They're gonna have to go elsewhere if they get Roman because the TV deal is already gonna be signed. So I wish them luck.
Well, that's why WWE signed CM Punk to get a better TV deal.
Yeah.
That's the game.
Well,
Once
that's
he's-
one of the reasons, yeah.
One of the biggest.
So-
Peel
what's smart?
my end,
They put
Roman
the-
is making $5 million annually right now.
Yeah.
I could
Which
see
isn't
AEW
that high.
paying 20 million. I could see AEW paying 20 for a
Because people
3-year
are like,
deal.
oh, we're not going to see CM Punk at Survivor Series. They're going to wait till the Rumble. Like, why wait when we got a TV deal coming up?
yeah, you're right.
We got to talk to networks, you know. We could talk to WB.
Yeah, it's not
Amazon
old school.
Prime.
It's not old school. Vince McMahon does whatever he wants booking anymore. Now they have to be.
Yeah.
It's about TV rights deals and shit, right?
Yeah.
Different
Yep.
business. now.
That's also concerning, yeah, in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. I mean, I don't know.
Do you,
For
do you
WWE,
think
they might be
WWE even
valued
cares
more.
to you think WWE really cares to re-sign Roman for a giant contract if both their TV deals are already locked up? If all their TVs locked up, they have to. Then I don't see them paying him $10 million.
Roman is an ultimate draw to me. I mean, every time he's on SmackDown, there's over 2 million people watching.
Do you know who Francis Ngannou
That
is?
sounds so terrible. That sounds so bad.
Yeah,
Francis
but
Ngannou-
that's the norm now. That's the norm now. That's just what it is. That's the
That's
norm.
bad.
But Francis
That's
Ngannou
bad.
was the biggest draw they had in the UFC that's not named Conor McGregor and John Jones. And he was going to fight John Jones. So they're two of their top 3 biggest draws in the world, and they let him go with the heavyweight title. The number 1 heavyweight in the world with their championship, they let him go. So you're telling me Roman Reigns means more than Francis Ngannou to the same company?
Absolutely
I don't think so.
not.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
that.
not even close.
I'm speaking more WWE related. I don't care about what the hell they doing.
Endeavor is
TK owns
WWE
them.
now.
Endeavor owns them. They own them now.
I understand.
There's no separation.
I
It's
understand.
TKO.
Yeah, I understand that, but when we're talking wrestling, bro, I think it's a completely different ball game.
It's not.
It's a
It's
business
a different
now.
ball
It's a
game
business.
with
It's
Endeavor
numbers on paper.
involved.
It's a
It
numbers
used
on
to
paper
be
game now.
what you're saying used to be the way it works, but not no more.
100%.
We're gonna have to
Because if
find
Triple
out.
H says, "Yeah, we got to keep Roman," but who is it? Ari Emanuel? If he says, "Nah, we're paying him too much," we're not
See if
doing
he-
that.
see
Then
if
they
he'll
got to
take-
let him go. Like,
Yeah,
if
but
he'll
then
take
you
6 million.
got to see what. I mean, I don't know, bro. I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
They let Francis go. That's my
Okay.
argument. Francis was the biggest star
yep,
they
they
had
let
in the
Francis
UFC.
go.
Yeah.
The biggest
And
fight
look what
they
he
had
did.
was laying on the table, and then
No one
he
is
almost,
safe.
Yeah, no one's
Mhm.
safe for Francis. If Francis isn't safe, no one's safe.
That's a fact. But it is 1:00 in the morning Eastern time, y'all. Our boy Bryan, our young boy, has to go to bed because he got some work in the
I'm
morning.
gonna
So,
keep
thank y'all.
going. I'm gonna keep going.
You want to keep it going?
No. If we're ending, that's fine. But if
Oh no, we're at 1:30. We could cut it off because I don't want to. I don't want to keep y'all in here too
I
late.
think
I
this
mean,
is a
unless y'all
good-
want to
good
keep it
point
going,
to
it's
cut it
good,
off.
kiddo. Yeah.
I think it's a great point. But I had like a couple of interesting things. I looked
go
at the
ahead, throw 'em
salaries
at
of
us.
people. So number 1 most paid is with 12 million, Brock Lesnar. Number 2 is John Cena with 8.5 million. And then number
Ooh.
3, we have Roman Reigns with 5 million. And then all the way at 15, for some reason, Carl Anderson is 640K. So it's like the
Oh,
highest
man.
15 most paid. So it's very weird looking at this. And
You see
like,
Kofi Kingston, New Day on there at all?
we got Finn Balor, 14, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, Stan. Undertaker is number 9 with 2.5 million.
Oh,
Seth
that's an
Rollins
insult.
is
That's a slap in the face.
3 million. AJ's 3 million.
He's
Becky
getting
Lynch is
paid that to do
3.1.
what? To
Yeah,
show
you're
up
right.
to
Nothing.
NXT once in
Show
a year.
Yeah, yeah.
You got $2.5 million to show up at NXT that
Yeah,
one time.
right. Give him 3 to 5 though.
For that one
Triple H
He's
is-
the
appearance.
Undertaker.
Triple
For
H is
that one appearance,
3.3.
just so that Dynamite didn't beat them in a number.
He's
And
made that much
2.5
for
million.
them.
He made that $2.5 million by keeping
Yeah,
that.
Brock-
Yeah, you're right.
Brock actually get paid a lot, boy. Shoot.
Brock, insane.
Yeah.
12 million, yeah.
Kevin Owens is
Cena.
getting paid $2 million.
Because you know Brock
Is he?
Lesnar, I think he'll go in there and be like, "I'll walk to AEW tomorrow if you don't give me this." I think he'll really
That's
do
what
it.
he did. Yeah, he used them as
Jericho-
leverage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie. On the next
Jericho says
contract,
right-
Kevin Owens not getting paid $2 million. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Absolutely not.
the only reason they gave him this is to keep him away from AEW.
That's exactly why.
Jericho
They're so
himself
smart with
said
that.
his contract right now is the biggest he's ever had in wrestling. And
Mhm.
every contract you just spoke of, every single contract you just spoke of, was not under Endeavor, was not under TKO. None of those contracts will stay like that. None of them. They're not going to re-sign Brock for that. I can tell
Same
you
with
that.
JR. Didn't he said his contract right now for his announcing was the biggest he ever had when he
all
signed
of
it?
them are getting paid more than they've ever been paid, which
Yeah,
means
Ric Flair.
If you
Ric Flair
if you're-
too? No way.
Yeah, Ric
No
Flair
way
said
they're
Ric-
paying Ric Flair big money.
Ric Flair said he's making more money off his like pot products than he's ever
Yeah.
made in
Woo wings,
wrestling.
woo wings,
Oh,
them
okay.
weak ass wings he showed
Woo
up.
wings, yeah.
Woo wings. But
Yeah.
I guarantee you, AEW is going to be willing to pay a lot more than TKO does for the most part. Maybe
I
not
got a
for
question.
Becky Lynch is
Did he
getting
book
paid
better
$3 million.
shows?
who.
I got a question.
Becky Lynch, she's getting
Un-
$3
Yeah.
million.
You think she's
Yeah.
going to get that under Endeavor? Because I
Hell
don't.
no.
She
She might
might
not
not
even
even
get
get
half of
that's,
that.
that's a question I have. That's a question I have. Under this new regime of Endeavor, could we say that wrestlers will get even less paid now, like
Yes.
than before?
100%.
That's a
I think
potential
so.
thing.
I think the
so.
biggest thing Endeavor is trying to do right now is to chew out AEW and make sure that when all these contracts come due, they're no longer able to pay big money. I think the biggest thing is they want to be on WBD and want to shop Raw there so that AEW doesn't get renewed and hopefully doesn't get a big increase in numbers. Because if AEW is willing to pay these big numbers, Endeavor just won't. PFL pays these big numbers. Strikeforce and certain other places, like guys who are top names, like a Ben Henderson, Anthony Pettis, like guys have left while being a top star in UFC because UFC wouldn't pay them enough. It was never the case though, where they were the heavyweight champion. They've made a point now that it's like, we don't care if you are a top star in our company. We are not going to pay you or do whatever it is.
$5 million a year.
There's no way.
Logan Paul.
No way they're
WWE
going to keep these contracts. I don't think WBD keeps these contracts at all. I think a handful of people will, but not everybody. Not a list like that.
Just because his name Logan Paul does deserve, a pretty good contract.
He brings a lot of star power. I mean, he takes the belt everywhere. I mean, as soon as he won the title belt, it was everywhere, bro. He took it to, I think, the Fox 5 morning show.
Shower.
Like he was, I mean, he was definitely doing some things with it, brother. I don't want to know, but
well, Paige was too. I mean,
hope he wasn't clapping cheeks in the belt.
About that later, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Brad Maddox.
So
shout out to Brad Maddox and Xavier.
Do we know if
the greatest tag team of all time?
Very random.
Do we know officially when Seth Rollins and Roman's contract up?
Seth is up in June.
Oh, it's June.
Yeah, Seth is up in June,
and Becky as well.
Yeah,
Seth and Becky in June.
That'll be a crazy. That'll be a shake the wrestling world up in 2024.
And just so you guys are aware, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, they're making a combined $6.5 million.
I think AEW would pay them the same.
Bread.
They'll probably pay them more.
They'll probably give them $5 million a piece. Make 10.
There you go.
I mean, Seth Rollins would be worth it, I'd say.
I could see Seth leaving though. I really could see him, and Drew McIntyre.
I could see him leaving. Just because I would have said no if Dean Ambrose didn't leave, but because he did, I see Seth leaving. Because you got to think about it.
I think Dean Ambrose's situation is a lot different.
It is. I also think Seth is a top guy though, and he's always in WWE going to be under Roman. If he went to AEW, he could be the guy, and if he wants to be the guy in wrestling, and then come back to WWE and maybe overtake Roman Reigns.
Rollins has been that guy, though. Rollins has been that guy.
He's never been the Roman. He's not Roman Reigns.
He's not Roman Reigns, but he's been that guy. Like, bro, back when the heist of the century, throughout the Authority storyline,
that was beautiful. Beautiful.
They put the belt on him with the U.S. Championship on him. Like, he's been that guy. I'm not saying he's been Roman level. Obviously, Roman is fucking insane, but he's been that guy. He's had his fair share of cool moments in the WWE.
Could Cody have ever gotten to the level he's at now without leaving?
I was just going to say that.
No, for sure.
I was just going to say that. If he didn't leave, he would not be Cody Rhodes he is today. So Seth Rollins leaves, he could take himself up to the next level.
I'm going
to be honest, though, bro. I just don't know how much higher Seth could go. That's just me, though, personally.
That's an example of someone who is pretty high, whereas you had Cody. Cody was much lower on the card and got there by leaving, just like Drew did. When Drew left, Drew wasn't that high.
Drew was,
So, and Jinder Mahal, a lot of guys are stories like that where they left and they came back.
Jinder Mahal came back jacked.
Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland's going to be another one of these examples. Swerve Strickland, he'll probably have a run with the title in AEW, be there for another 3-4 years. He could go back to WWE and then be their top guy.
Go crazy. And he was a Triple H guy too, right?
Yeah. It's more just Rollins' stature. I don't think like he can go.
There's not much of a higher position. There's literally 1A. You're at 1B, you're 1A. Yeah. You're the Rock. You're the Rock underneath Stone Cold. You don't get to be Stone Cold until Stone Cold leaves.
Yeah. And that's what Seth Rollins is.
There was never a point where anyone was going to overtake Austin unless Austin was there. Like nobody overtook Austin while he was on screen. No, to this day, he still sells the most T-shirts. He still sells. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If Austin will get the biggest pop of the night wherever he goes.
100%. I agree.
So it's just a case of Rollins, if Roman wasn't there, would have been the top guy, and when Roman wasn't there, was the top guy.
Yeah.
So you'll never overtake Roman, but neither will anybody else.
Yeah.
CM Punk is overtaking him. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
CM
Punk is too old to overtake him. I think CM Punk is going to put in the match. He's going to put in the work. He's going to feud with him. But I don't think not Seth Rollins. No. I don't think CM Punk is going to be that guy.
He just wants his
WrestleMania.
Yeah, he's a part-timer legend type of deal now.
He never got his WrestleMania main event when he deserved it because of politics. Now he's getting it. So he might
not get it. I don't think he's getting that main event. If he doesn't fight Roman Reigns, he's not the main event.
He's getting night one.
He's the main event.
Night one isn't the main event, though.
That's not the main event.
I will quote CM Punk himself. I will quote CM Punk himself. He is going to be main event night 1 of a 4-night buy one get one special.
That's what he said to MJF.
Yeah.
And that is what he's doing.
And
That's exactly
he's
what
doing
he's
right
doing.
now.
I
I'm
mean,
sure
listen,
MJF
If he's
give
the
him a
main event
little-
of the first night, he's going out bad.
no, he's signed a 3-year
Going out
deal.
bad.
I don't think you can
Stone
say
Cold-
that.
Stone Cold and Kevin Owens was the main
Ugh.
event of my WrestleMania, and they were night 1.
Yeah,
That was my main event, though, that year.
I don't think
That's
you can
not-
say
yeah.
that.
But they'll tell you every match at WrestleMania is a main event. Like,
Hulk Hogan and The
It's like,
Rock.
what?
How
Hulk
does it
Hogan and The
even
Rock
work?
weren't the main. Hulk Hogan and The Rock weren't the main event. They should have been.
Yeah, I mean, listen, bro, it goes on the way it is. He has a 3-year deal. If he does night 1 this year, I don't know if Roman will be the champion next year. We don't know. He could be night 2 main event next year. It just really depends, bro, on how it's handled. But
No,
Who
I agree
knows?
with
Maybe-
Kenny because
maybe we
because
get
Punk
Austin-
himself was like
Austin
bitching
Punk next
about
year,
yeah, exactly. That
having
would
a
be
match
cool.
with the Undertaker.
right?
Yeah.
Austin Punk would be cool.
I mean, how are you
Yeah.
going to complain about having a match with the Undertaker? Come on.
I don't think he
I
was
don't
more
think it
complaining
was-
about that.
he was-
It was
he
more
was
that he
complaining
wanted the
about the
main
money.
event and the money.
he also
Yeah,
wanted
like
the
he was
money.
making
It
that
doesn't
fine
matter, but
distinction.
He said,
was
who
making
made
that
more
fine
money?
distinction.
He said, fine. Are you going to pay me the same as Brock, Triple H, Cena, and Taker? Am I getting the same paycheck as them? Because he's like, I'm not. So don't tell me I'm in the main event. Because if I am, you're paying me the same as all of these guys.
Okay.
And
All right. Well,
that
if you're
was-
doing it for the
that was
money,
his
then
argument.
okay.
That was his argument. He said, then pay me as if I'm the main event. If you're
Okay.
telling me that match with Taker is the main event, then you pay me the same as Taker. Pay me the
That is
same as
fair.
Lesnar. Pay me
Well,
the same
now
as
I don't
Triple
think they
H,
even get
and pay me
paid
the same
for-
as Cena.
Do
No,
they
but
still
at
get
that-
paid for pay-per-views?
But no, but at that point, Cena, Taker,
No, but I'm asking
Triple
her,
H,
just
and
asking,
Lesnar
I
were
don't
all
know.
making way more money than him for that night, and he said, "Pay
Yeah.
me the same as them." Then
Mhm.
I will stop bitching if you give me their paycheck.
Yeah.
That's all I ever asked for.
Jay
was the
Barnacle
main
says,
event.
did we see the tweet from Dominic about CM Punk?
I
Are you
don't
referring to the MMA tweet where he was getting beat
Nah.
up?
He was
Yeah.
no, it was the one where CM Punk actually botched the move off the top rope.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Dominic's
Off
getting
the
at him.
top.
He must be really not like him. Off the top.
I don't
call it
think-
out.
I don't think
Nice catch,
anybody
Kittle.
cares about the main event of WrestleMania as much as it means you're making the most money in the company if you're in that spot. What it used to be, if you were the champion in Hulk Hogan's era, it meant you drew the most money, you brought in the houses because all the money came from the house, not from TV rights, and you get paid the most in the company. If you held that strap, you were getting paid. If you were Macho Man holding that title, you got paid more than Hogan. If Hogan's drawing more at the shows, you got to put that strap back on Hogan because he's drawing the most tickets. He's got to get paid the most. That's what that belt used to mean. It meant you are the highest paid performer in the company. That's why you wanted the strap. That's why you wanted the main event. It wasn't this nonsense of we're just throwing the Miz in a main event because we want to show off The Rock and have him screw and set up our main event of WrestleMania next year. Miz never made main event money. He's never a main eventer. The point
Hey,
of
he
that
main
is-
evented a few times. He did it.
but that's why main events don't matter anymore. It's the money.
But
If
it
you
matters
really
to the
mean-
wrestlers,
But
apparently.
CM Punk didn't give a shit about what part of the card he's on. The main event meant the money. Pay me the same as you're saying it's the main event. Pay me the same as them.
How much?
His
I think
argument
if it
is,
didn't matter to
I wanna
Punk, he
make
wouldn't
one
have
event.
used that line, main event night one
I think
of
he
a full
want.
budget buy one, get one.
I think he wanted to be part of the main event. Obviously, it could have been. I know
if you're
the
part
money
of the
played
main
a big
event,
part.
it means you're making the most money in the
But
company.
he was
It
jealous
means-
of what John Cena was doing. He was
Because
pretty
he
much
made
saying
so
that
much
should have
more
been
money.
me.
Yes, and because he made so much more money by like
He
an
was
extra
so much
zero.
more better too.
By like
I
an
didn't
extra
like John
zero.
Cena, but
I
Hey.
think during Punk's run, I think he was much more entertaining to me, and he sold as much and more merch than Cena. And Cena has 50 different kinds of merch.
that's cap. That's cap. That's
CM
cap.
Punk-
Look where Cena
CM
is right
Punk has
now. And look
one
at Cena.
shirt.
CM Punk is a rusty old man who's bitter right now. John Cena's up in Hollywood doing
Yeah.
it up.
Good for him. I love Cena more now than I ever
Because
did.
John
as a
Cena was
wrestler.
always. I never liked Cena as a wrestler either, but I
I
can
love him
definitely
more now
appreciate
than
what he
ever
did in his
How
portfolio.
much was CM
yeah.
Punk paid?
100%.
Anybody know how much CM Punk was paid this time? Because I know we were talking about contracts and TKO.
I don't think
it
it
came
came
whatever.
out.
That wasn't.
I think that would have been all over if we knew.
Because I wonder how much they paid him. That would kind of give us an idea of how they may
I
treat
think-
the other stars.
I think CM Punk's going to be getting paid a lot of money for this contract because
They really
brought
didn't
him in-
have to pay him that much though,
Because
because it wasn't much negotiation.
Yeah, there wasn't many.
Like,
there wasn't many options.
what
for
do
him.
you? Hey, we got $1 million for you. I mean,
Yeah,
what are you gonna
something
do?
around
I heard
10 probably.
I heard TNA's
Something around
contract was-
10.
I heard TNA's contract was stupid though.
You think
I
you said
heard-
10, kiddo?
Yeah, because
10
TNA was
million
offering him
a
a lot of
year?
money.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
I
crazy.
heard
They
TNA
give
was
CM
trying to
Punk
give him
10
a
mil.
lot of money. No, I don't. 10 mil for
Yeah.
over 3 years. Actually, that's not that bad if you think about it.
Shout
over
out to
3
him
years.
if he got
I
that.
think-
He secured
I
that
think-
bag.
That would
for
make
sure
more
CM
sense. 3.5
For
mil.
sure,
3.3.
For sure, CM Punk is making more than Kevin Owens. Period. Kevin Owens is going
Yeah.
$2 million a year. CM Punk's making more than $2
Yeah,
million.
yeah, for
Period.
sure.
Yeah.
And Roman's only making 5, so there's not a huge gap between 2 and 5. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he might be getting 3. They're not paying him more than Roman because if they are, Roman's gone.
No, they're paying him around 2.5 to 3.
But the question is, are they paying him more than Seth?
Might be the same as Seth.
will
If they are, Seth
Probably.
might be out of there.
Exactly. Because Seth
It's-
does not like him.
I mean, Punk is a bigger draw than Rollins, bro. I mean, I don't
He
think
is.
that he should
Oh,
be
yeah.
upset about
Oh,
that.
for
I
sure.
mean, he brings in the money.
The Young Bucks couldn't
Real
handle.
Take Wrestling says CM Punk was making $5 million in AEW.
And
So
he's
do y'all think
making less in
WWE would have to
WWE.
pay him more than
No.
that, or he's making less?
He doesn't have no options.
Somewhere around there.
He
He
Oh,
literally
that's
said, "I'm
bad.
here to make money."
That's a bad move. If he's making less money in WWE than he was making in AEW,
I
that's
have
bad.
to believe he's somewhere around 5 to 10. Not 10, but like maybe 6, maybe 5.
I think he's 3 to
But,
5,
like-
but
Yeah,
he
I
didn't
don't
have that
think
many
he-
options. There was not much negotiating. You do.
You're
Like,
right.
It's not like he's saying, "Yo,
It's
this
gonna be
place offered
speculation.
me 10 mil." Like,
It'll all
yeah,
be
TNA
all
offered him, but
speculation.
Impact offered him a lot.
yeah, TNA offered him a lot. But think about it. All right, we're gonna offer you $2 million less, or whatever the case is. We don't know how much TNA offered him, but let's say that they say, "All right, we're gonna offer you $4 million," but
So
you already know what
strange.
comes with the WWE. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna
It's
get way
so
more
strange.
exposure.
It's so
merch-
strange that people think someone cares.
Way
about
more
that at the end of
exposure
their
is
career.
crazy because they don't
It's
let you
so-
use that. You can't
it's-
use your exposure. You can't
it's
even
so
get on
cra-
Twitch.
Like I don't
Well,
know
I-
how many of you people think
Can't be twitching.
how many of you guys think that there are so many people out there that are Bryan Danielson that care about the art form of pro wrestling? Maybe Kenny
a lot
Omega.
of them. I think a lot
Maybe
of them.
Kenny
do.
Omega. But at the end of their career, a lot of them are just in it for the bag. That's why Sting and
I
Adam
don't think
Copeland
so.
are very happy in AEW.
I don't think so because you got to think about it. These wrestlers get mad at the way they're booked, or they're mad if they're not
Sure.
booked.
Sure,
So
but if they're
I think
paid
they want to be
enough money-
positioned well, and they want to
if they're
kind
paid
of
enough
make their
money, I
legacy.
think
I
I
think.
mean,
Yeah,
I
like
think for
if
some-
you were,
for
yeah,
some-
you would just.
Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar happily ate shit when he came back to WWE against John Cena and Triple H. Didn't care.
Yeah, well, Brock
He's a
Lesnar's a
good
guy
worker.
who just didn't care. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I
He's a
don't know
good
how much
worker.
he was getting paid back then, but he's still
And me,
getting
pay
paid the
me,
big
Job
bucks.
Squad
12
for
mil?
life.
12 mil is crazy, but he's Brock Lesnar.
yeah. Brock Lesnar, and he's
And me,
making
pay
more
me.
money in WWE than he was making in UFC. That's crazy.
And me, pay me, Job Squad for life, baby.
No, I love
Job
Brock,
Squad,
bro.
let's
You know
get
what I'm
to
saying? He's a huge draw. It's just I don't know, bro, because Roman is getting to that point.
What was Goldberg getting paid when he was back?
I don't want to
How
know,
much was he
but
getting?
his bald ass.
Yeah,
bro.
Not as much as Brock though.
3 million
No,
or
but
something,
still,
probably.
I'm just curious how much they were paying him. Because
I don't know, bro, but I wish that
How
run
much
didn't
did-
happen. That run pulled me away from wrestling, bro. I had to go away.
How much did Austin get for that one match with Kevin Owens? I hope.
Oh, they said he got a bag.
I hope it was at least $1 million.
I think it was more than
Oh,
that.
that was more than that.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
For one match.
All
For
right,
one
2 or 3
match.
million.
That one match, I think
One
it was
match.
more than that.
Well, I mean, if Taker's getting $2.5 million just to sit at home for everything he's done over the business, that's awesome. I think that's super great.
I think that's
Yeah.
the way you got to handle your wrestling.
But they had to
right, man.
secure him back because the Undertaker was going to what's the Starcast? He was going to make an appearance at Starcast, and that was like an AEW thing. And they were like, wait. They
Yeah,
signed him
yeah,
and
right.
pulled
We've
him off
already
of that
seen.
show.
We already saw what they did with Sting. They could just put him in another tag partner with Darby
Yep.
Allin.
Right. WWE
stopped
said
that
no,
real
we
quick,
can't
yeah.
have that.
Well,
All right,
I
fellas.
get it. Do you think they're going to still do that kind of thing with Endeavor, though? When those deals are up, do you think a Taker, a John Cena, a Brock Lesnar, do you think these guys are just going to get new deals of let's just burn money?
Listen.
Or are they just going to say let him go?
I don't. It depends because Vince McMahon still has an important seat at the table. I'm not saying that he's the end all say all.
He sold like 8 million
No, but-
shares, and
yeah,
to
but
drop
he's still-
stock price,
He still has a lot, though.
He still has a
Yeah.
lot of power.
and
though. I'm
he'll
not
sell
saying-
those too if he doesn't like what he's doing. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's like.
But I mean, it's because
you
he's
know,
not
but-
majority owner. He doesn't have the biggest voice.
Right.
So
He
he
can
has
say
no,
something
he
else
actually,
and somebody
he
else
has
will
no
be
has a
voice
voice-
in creative. He has no voice in creative.
Yeah, he actually has a voice within UFC and WWE decisions, though, when it comes to financial stuff. They already said that before. Creatively, obviously, he's not.
Yeah, but they can
We
also
don't want
push him
him
out
there.
and vote him out too if they want. They
Yep,
made it
they
very
sure
clear.
can.
Oh,
If
yeah.
anything happens with these allegations and stuff, and if it starts looking bad, they can just push him right out, and he won't have his
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah, they have very sleek maneuvering there at
I ain't gonna lie,
TKO.
they've
It's
been
scary.
throwing him under the bus over there, but yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
You're right.
I don't feel bad for them throwing him under the bus when he's getting billions of dollars out of the deal. Not going to feel bad if he doesn't get a vote at the table.
No.
I mean, he sold the
If
company
it's-
to get the power back anyway, to
And then
to
it
get creative
fired-
back, and it
backfired on him.
backfired. Yeah,
That
it backfired
was-
on
yeah,
him.
that
No, I don't
was-
feel bad.
They should have
Billions of
honestly,
dollars
bro.
worth of
That
backfire.
that should have been a family business thing. Obviously, it's none of
Yeah,
my business
but he was
how they
selfish.
handle it. But that should have been just been given to Stephanie.
Yeah.
and
I think that's why
move on.
Stephanie left. She didn't like the fact that
she
he
was
selling
upset.
it.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, because they probably wanted to run the show, and Shane.
And she was good. They
Shane
should have let
couldn't
her.
stand
Shane
work with
got
him too.
kicked out. Yeah.
Yeah, Shane was good too. But I mean,
the
who
first
knows how it
time,
would have
too.
turned out if. I just think it would have been so much better if Stephanie and Shane ran it or whatever, and they were playing the authority on TV. But now we have
Now,
no
yeah.
idea where this is going.
Exactly. Anyone could be the decision maker, and
Yep.
they could decide all sorts of things.
Anything
So,
can
I
happen.
guess-
again. Happening
Yeah.
I
again.
don't know. AEW can sign
Bryan.
whoever they want, man. But I just
Mhm.
Tony Khan, man, just stop being a mark. Just book better
Come on,
shows.
man.
Jim-
Book
Jim
better shows.
Cornette- You
Gotta
gotta
watch
attack that
full
hand like that.
Jim
Yeah,
Cornette
huh?
said it best recently. He said, "You're never ever going to get a billionaire involved in wrestling again. You're never going to have this chance." All he had to do was hire 15 of the right people to do in each different department. You're head of creative. You group
Thank
of people
you.
are head of creative. You people are head of talent
I
relations.
think that's bad.
So,
Bad.
here's
Bad.
money.
Bad. Bad.
Go sign who you think is going to build us the best alternative product. Make the product. Here you go. If he doesn't like things, fire these people. Put someone else in that place. But he shouldn't
Not
be
that
doing
hard.
shit for the Jacksonville Jaguars, doing stuff for Fulham, and also running 5 hours.
Yeah,
of
he's doing
wrestling
too
a week
much.
all by
Ring of
himself.
Honor.
Way too much.
Too
7,
much.
8 hours of wrestling a week plus pay-per-views. Way too much. I understand it was a fantasy thing for him, and who can tell a billionaire no? Because no matter how much money he burns, he'll still be a billionaire.
Yeah.
So like, you can't tell him no. Jericho even said this. He's like, "What are you gonna tell him?" Like, it doesn't matter what advice people give him and say maybe this isn't working. Like QT Marshall died on that hill saying, "We want storytelling. He wants to just have matches and be like New Japan in North America."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, like
unfortunate because
he's
if he
like-
just hired like a Paul Heyman type and said, "Run my show, here's a budget of unlimited money to get all the talent that you can scout and you can see and all the big names you want, and just write me the best wrestling show that's an alternative to
He's
this
trying
product."
to race in Formula
And-
One or NASCAR without even like getting on a car before or taking any driving lessons. Hire a great mentor. Let him teach you the ways, you know, how to handle the freaking wheel and all that. And a couple of years later, take over the wheel completely and do your thing. Like from
Does
zero.
But I
Does
just don't
anyone
agree.
remember? Does
I
anyone
just don't
remember
agree with
when
one
Paul
thing you
Heyman-
said there, that he needs to
Okay.
hire like 15 writers. I
No,
think
I'm not saying
WWE
15
got
writers.
worse than they hired.
No,
the
no.
15
I'm not
writers.
saying 15 writers. I'm saying if you just hired like 15 people to put in all different departments, like 2 or 3 people in creative, 2 or 3 people
There you
in
go.
talent
Yeah, I
relations.
think that's it.
I'm
2 or 3
he
people in
just-
creative.
I'm saying he just needed to hire like 15 people total for the company to all be delegated to all the jobs he's
He
doing
needs it, man.
by himself.
Right.
And then
Yeah,
just
yeah.
have
'cause he-
have people who have years of experience in each of the departments
Yeah.
that he has 0 years in,
Mhm.
and just have them and be like, "We have the budget and television. We have literally everything Paul Heyman could have ever dreamed of on a silver platter. We have the budget to get anyone we want, and we have the TV." And the only reason Paul Heyman didn't go to TNA was because he said, "I'd need full creative control, be able to hire, fire whoever I wanted." If they literally, obviously Paul Heyman's never leaving WWE at this point, but if they just took him and said, "Here, unlimited budget, scout who you want, I want an alternative product," you basically can make ECW in 2023 if you want, because that's
Also,
what that's part of their product is like ECW.
you still don't
in
know that
2023.
with the TKO thing we talked about. Could happen still.
I mean, but I don't think Tony he's so in love with wrestling and being
Yeah.
all the guys he hires best friends,
Mhm.
because it's like he's the ultimate mark who could have gone front seat to every major show. He's been to every major show that we've all loved watching in wrestling, and now he's like, I get to interact with all these guys.
Yeah.
I didn't get to interact with The Rock and Triple H and Stone Cold and everything, but I'm getting to interact with Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. I got CM Punk. I got you know what I mean? He's so in love with the fact that it's like, I get to bring these guys here. I don't think it'll ever be the product that I really truly want. Just like I have hopes for the Ultra Pro Wrestling video game. I want it to be the best wrestling game ever. but we'll never get exactly what we want. I still
Hey, it's
enjoy it
possible.
more than
We'll
WWE. I still
Gotta
enjoy
go
it
in
more
with
than
it's
a
WWE
mindset
for
thing.
me. I just it had the potential to be the best alternative possible, and it's not that.
I mean, for me, I think Tony Khan does book the show well.
Eh,
There are some
Sometimes.
screws and bolts that needs to be tightened, but when it comes to like storytelling and actually getting these wrestlers on the right track right now, it seems like he is trying to build up new stars, and I think he needs to continue to do that. But if he just takes them off, like I thought he was going to get Julia Hart hot and
Listen.
then take her off TV because that's what he used to do. But he is following
Yo.
through now, just like
Yeah.
with Swerve Strickland. He caught fire and he's been going through
Swerve
this tournament
has
and
to.
he's actually doing good.
Yeah.
My bad,
I hope
Brian. You ready to get up
Listen.
out of here?
Oh no.
Swerve has to win this tournament.
Yeah, I am. But we
You just
can
want him to
finish
leave?
this conversation real quick.
No, I saw he
My,
was like, we
um,
gotta go, y'all.
Nah, the only
Yeah.
only thing I will say about that though, Tony is I like his matches. I like what he books. Now my issue is the timing of the matches. There's just so much more that could go into it. Like it's just like MJF Kenny Omega. They probably needed to
That's
pop a
exactly
rating.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, they
Read my
need.
mind.
No,
Yeah.
but you
Read my
gotta
mind.
understand that. So you gotta understand
mind.
that Kenny Omega is hurt for one. For two, Kenny Omega was not in the books. They were not going to do a pay-per-view with Kenny Omega versus MJF. So you do it now or you do it never. Are you not just gonna? Are you just not gonna have the title
Yeah,
match?
but you can't.
So no, you put it on
yeah,
Collision
but
to
you
pop the
can.
rating because it's not in the books.
Yeah,
So
but
either do you want the match
you
or
can
not?
say
That's
that-
pretty much what
yeah,
it is.
but you can say that about.
They
like,
never got CM Punk.
You can
because
say
of
that about his. You can say that
Exactly.
about some of the stuff that they've done as well. Like the like running CM Punk versus Samoa Joe before All In happened. I think that was stupid.
Strange.
And giving CM
That was
Punk to
strange.
win before that, I'm like, that don't make no
Strange.
sense, bro. At least have Samoa Joe beat him, or just have the match end dirty at that point. and there's
I
no
honestly
win.
feel like the plan at that point was probably Omega, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, I think so too. If you ask me,
I think that's what it is.
Because
They do
they
things
had
like
hands.
that, and they have to switch the booking. Just like we look at how CM Punk beat Samoa Joe, and the plan was for CM Punk to go up against MJF after the pay-per-view because he beat Samoa Joe, but CM Punk's gone. So what do you do?
Yep.
The guy who CM Punk just beat is going up against Samoa Joe
Yeah.
for the championship. It's just like, you got long-term booking, but things happen and you got to switch them on the fly. So.
and I get it, but then you did it again with Edge and Christian. You wasn't. In my opinion,
but that was
I don't think-
storytelling.
yes, there was storytelling, but you could have done it without the match. I don't think they should have gotten
No.
hands on each other till World's End.
No, but they didn't want Christian to go down a loss. And I think that was more Adam's idea than anything else. I bet you Adam said, I want to give Christian's doing the best work of his career. I want Christian to win the first one so that we can go into a second one, have the pay-per-view match, and then we can have a rubber match.
I think Christian needs to win both of them back to back.
Sure. Great. Do it.
That would make
I think
Christian
I'll-
like that would cement him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like you
I
pin
agree.
Edge cleaning. You don't even got it. Doesn't have to be clean. Use shenanigans or whatever. And then if you want to do a third one where Edge finally triumphs, then whatever. But if they let Christian win back to back, that'll be big.
Swerve won back to back, and I couldn't believe it. I
could not believe
After
it.
Swerve invaded his house, and they did that whole angle,
Mhm.
and then they had Swerve go over Hangman in that match in a Texas death match. I couldn't believe it. So
I could not believe it either.
and
That's
his
what I was
name is
saying.
To me,
Swerve.
it was the right decision, in my opinion. Look at Swerve.
Yeah,
I just
Swerve
wish they.
is
I
your
just,
hottest
Hangman's
star.
still
I just
okay
wish,
too.
I just wish they didn't have people interrupt that match.
Yeah.
For
There's
Swerve and
wrestling
Hangman.
booking.
I get it
Yeah.
though. It's a.
I agree.
It's a.
I agree.
I get it though. They
Overbooked,
probably
always.
They didn't want
Dusty
Swerve
finish.
to. And another
Dusty
thing,
finish.
bro, like the booking, like what they did with MJF and Jay White, I thought that was really, really overbooked. I feel like that damaged Jay
Oh, yeah,
White
that
more
was
than
bad.
anything. You had
I agree. I agree.
an injured MJF go out and beat Jay White on one knee. It's like, bro, that just like
It would have made more sense to
Nobody
call an
picked, like-
audible.
yeah,
They should have called the audible when he did the elbow drop, and he's like, "My everything is fucked."
yeah.
Yeah.
Put this guy over. The whole angle is me being
Oh
injured.
no!
Just put.
But then what do you do with the devil?
But then again, also in World's End too, because it's in his hometown. You have
Yeah,
to.
no,
but
you got to keep it
it's
on
just,
him.
but
because of
he's
the
legitimate. But
circumstances.
it's legitimately
Yeah.
injured though.
I just,
Ow.
bro.
This reminds
I-
me of the WWE thing, making Cody beat not Roman Reigns, but Brock Lesnar with an injured hand, clean.
Yeah.
Over Rollins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think, bro, it damaged Jay White like a lot, in my opinion. Like they were like, I'm not saying that the feud was good because I talked to it with a couple of you guys. I wasn't a fan of that steal the championship thing and run around like.
Oh yeah, I
it's
hate
yours.
that.
Like,
They do
I
that too
hate
much.
that
It
angle.
took too long
Yeah.
too. Like,
No.
why?
Okay, so I actually have a question because WWE seems to book AEW talent that they bring over. Granted, we haven't seen a lot of it, but they book them incredibly strong
Yeah.
to bring them in. any talent that has come over to AEW from anywhere, I'm not just talking WWE, I'm saying from anywhere, who have they booked really strong? Like Adam Copeland lost his match, his big first feud against Christian. Like
Bryan kind of tied with Omega.
And what's his name didn't have a great debut.
Do you mean like that came over and was booked strongly?
I'm just saying who in AEW has, when they first came over, booked really hot, other than Malachi beating Cody when he kicked him in the face.
Oh,
who else has debuted super
Luke
strong
Harper.
like that?
I mean, Brody Lee was booked well.
That's like 4 years ago. So who's more recent?
Well, I mean, you're saying who? I was just saying.
I can't think of anybody more recently than Malachi. They've all been booked kind of like, Adam Cole wasn't booked strong at the beginning. Bryan Danielson was having draws and losses.
Oh my God, no.
Like, no, I'm not thinking of anybody. CM Punk had matches against Darby. Like, CM Punk was like the only one.
Yeah.
I think they had no choice with Punk, but aside from that.
but everybody else that's come through, they haven't booked them. So it is kind of surprising. Like, you have Adam Copeland. He lost his first big program. I didn't think that was going to happen.
Tony Storm was booked well. I guess Tony Storm would be the one.
Tony Storm. Okay.
I think she'd be the one.
Storm is coming.
I mean, Swerve didn't Swerve come from WWE? Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't. He
but he didn't. He was booked. Yeah, he was bad for a while.
Him and Keith Lee had a terrible debut.
Yeah, I agree.
And then they eventually got they put him together.
It was weird.
Now, y'all, we got this beautiful picture of Liv Morgan on the thumbnail, and we didn't even talk about the young lady.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Let's do it and get out of here.
Yeah, let's make it happen and get out of here.
So Liv Morgan, she was driving apparently and had some drugs in the car with her. Got bumped, got arrested, and she got suspended. Now, apparently, she had weed, and I thought they took that off the wellness policy where they could smoke weed now.
I thought so too.
She got suspended.
Yeah, they said they weren't finding them for him anymore.
Why did
I saw something that said she got suspended.
So I heard
Randy Orton smoke all the time.
I heard her job was not in danger. Heard she's good. She's actually going to be in a high profile program.
She got suspended. Let's see.
She's going to be in a high profile program.
I could be wrong.
Me think Jade Cargill, but I'm not quite sure.
But
yeah.
Oh, they said she's not. So somebody said.
I
don't know who said she was suspended.
She's looking good.
Yeah, more details on Liv Morgan's arrest, suspended by WWE.
She also had a weed pen in the car, but everybody believes
they said that she got suspended for 30 days.
Oh, she did? Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know. This is from Gerweck.net, so I don't know if they're capping.
I don't know. I haven't heard it.
Yeah, Gerweck.net says she got suspended for 30 days, so they might be capping.
What's with Florida's rules that it's not legal out there to have it at all, or what?
Nah, bro. No, Florida's actually a crazy state, bro. It might not be legal, but they're gonna do their thing out there.
Yeah, because everybody in Florida you always see the crazy videos. Like I know very little. I mean, other than just.
Look at the Grand Theft Auto trailer, right?
Exactly.
It's actually kind of weird. It's actually kind of weird that it's legal in New York, but it's not in Florida because Florida is always ahead of the game.
Yeah, right. I mean, you can have guns in Florida. You can have guns in Florida, but not weed. Yeah. New York, you can have weed, but don't have no guns.
They
probably thinking weed and guns. They're not mixing.
Because in Canada, it's legal across the country.
Yeah.
Like here,
really?
It's legal it's illegal across the country. Here.
Yeah, I'm in South Carolina. It's not legal here.
Out there, they got out in Canada. They got weed and knives, bro. They get down to it.
In Canada?
In Canada,
y'all be poking each other up over there?
Be poking out there, boy.
Whoa. Crazy, man.
Liv Morgan can come over to Canada.
You mean like with hot knives? Like, you mean they're hot?
No, I just heard that out there in Canada.
You hear that, Liv Morgan? I know you watching. Kero just sent out the invite. So,
all right, man.
Our friendly neighborhood Kero, man.
Let's get this Liv Morgan stuff going, man. I got work tomorrow, man.
All right, y'all.
I think there's one more important story no one touched on is the fact that Kenny Omega has diverticulitis.
Oh, man. Shout out to my boy. Hopefully he gets it together.
Did you guys see the tweet that the fans sent out to him saying that he deserves it because AEW
I saw it.
They named the F5 diverticulitis.
That was actually
because Brock Lesnar had it. And Kenny Omega was like, "Are you stupid? I was involved in the game at the beginning. I had nothing to do with naming the moves. But who goes after a wrestler and is like, you deserve this because the name of a move in a wrestling game, because Brock Lesnar had it, and that was.
And hold on, isn't that Brian Cage related anyways? Isn't that his finisher name that Brian Cage himself calls it?
So does Brian Cage himself call it diverticulitis?
Deep sea diverticulitis. That's what he calls it.
And back then when
whoever named it that, I think was.
Sorry, what was that?
So they called it that before Brock Lesnar had diverticulitis?
Yeah, I remember the first days of AEW.
No, they didn't call it before Brock Lesnar had it. They did not call it before because nobody.
So
Oh,
once he
no,
got
no,
it,
no,
then they
no,
started
no.
calling.
It was
but,
definitely a
what's it
direct
called?
reference to him.
Kevin,
It's direct
Kevin
reference to
Owens
Rock.
back then, before he was Kevin Owens, I heard that it was named like deep end diverticulitis or something like that. It was like a 3-name finisher or move or whatever it was. But back
The
then,
F5.
yeah.
So they got it because Brock Lesnar had diverticulitis,
Yeah,
though, and they were kind of
exactly.
jabbing at
It
him.
was just like an inside joke.
So
Yeah.
Kenny Omega's not responsible for it, but the
Not at
independent
all.
wrestlers did kind of
But
coin
I
it.
thought it was a disease you got from eating too much red meat. Like Brock
That's
Lesnar
what
just always
I'm not-
all he did was eat steaks, and so
Yeah.
like, that was what happened. But I thought Kenny Omega is he not a vegetarian or vegan? I know he's like straight edge or doesn't drink, so I just thought he.
No,
was
he's
in the
pretty
same
muscular.
group,
He
though.
don't look a vegetarian.
I
at
don't
all.
know. I don't know. I just kind of assumed with the rest of the boys he didn't eat meat. I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, I just hope he gets better, bro. Because
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
I mean, we got
It's horrible.
like
Let's
also
go.
many more subjects like Charlotte being injured, but I think we'll leave those all for another day.
Yeah.
Another
Make sure y'all check out
time.
Real
As a
Take
matter
Wrestling.
of
He put
fact-
up a good video about Charlotte being injured because I had no idea it was that
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
she's gonna be out for
9 months.
Yeah, that's
Baby
Charlotte's,
on the way.
Charlotte's out for 9 months too.
Yeah.
Oh, here y'all go. Y'all getting started again. Where are we at right now?
Nah, as a
2
matter of
hours
fact-
and 3 minutes.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, what we
I
can
think-
go on ahead and do is just look out on the channel, bro. We'll try and get some videos up on those topics. And
Throughout the week.
that'll
For
be
sure,
aside
for
from
sure.
the podcast. So we'll definitely go on ahead and get talking about that as well.
Thank y'all for joining us this week. I am Mr.Dubbs. We've
Kenny
got
Bomber's
Loaded
in the
as a
building.
Beast.
What's up? Check me out. Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero was up. No, that wasn't up. It was the Tekken 8 video, and I talked about WWE 2K24. That short is up. Check me out.
Yeah, we got some
What is-
WWE 2K24 stuff coming on the channel, y'all. And I want to do an award show. I don't know how much of these guys we're going to be able to get together, but we're going to do the straight off the toppies, something. I don't know. We're gonna
Yeah,
we
we'll
got to
find
have our yearly reward
End of year show.
now.
We got to have it
Yeah,
end of
we
year.
gotta
for
do
sure,
it.
For sure.
True,
We gotta
true,
do it.
true.
And
End of
Kero,
What you mean end of the year? Like end of the year, like
like
award?
end of the year, best. Yeah, like
end of the
best,
year awards.
Best matches,
match.
worst matches.
word.
You know, best.
Yeah,
best
for sure,
best,
for sure. Yeah,
best
we definitely
wrestler,
gotta do
that's
that.
You know?
Worst Booker of the Year, Tony Khan. Yeah.
Oh,
Do that.
come on, man. Get loaded up out of here.
I got Cyberpunk
Yeah,
stuff
Shawn
going
Michaels.
on. I got
Oh, go
Ready
ahead,
or
kiddo.
Not review coming up. I'm gonna be doing a video about wrestling code, just everything we know so far about the game. And yeah, check out my
I'm looking
channel,
forward to that
Kero the
one.
Goat. Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, sounds like some good
Brian.
stuff.
All right, man. Just
Bryan.
Brian. Y'all can see me there, bro. Just Brian NY. Y'all can check me out, man. I try and post, but you know, I've been going through some sickness, but we'll be back consistent again, man.
Fuck yeah. And of course, the man himself, Kitty Bomb.
Any bombers in the building? I don't know what I'm posting about right now. I just did a video, your month, your Mortal Kombat birthday, something. I don't know. It was trending, so I did it. So make sure y'all go check that out, support it, because I don't know how it's going to do. But thank y'all for tuning into this video. We appreciate y'all coming through last minute, because it was a pretty good turnout. So shout out to Real Take Wrestling, been here all night with us.
Thanks.
Matt Batten. Shout out to
Oh,
Trust
yeah.
No One. Sammy Bear King. Everybody who's always showing love. We had Jay Barnacles up
Jerome.
in there. I don't know if he's still in there.
Rome.
Rome.
And Matt, my boy
Rapper,
Matt,
of
man, he
course.
been here all night too.
Matt's been
Of
here all
course,
night
Mike
trying to keep
Diesel.
us on topic. Trying to keep us on
Appreciate you,
topic
boys.
tonight. We appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
We appreciate you. For Off the Top, I am Mr. Dubbs. Dubious Ones tonight. Thank you for joining us.
For sure.
We're out.